right. No cam today. It is Thursday night though, and I'm here. It's been like a say low effort stream. Although, well, I did put an effort in right at the end because I changed games at the last second due to some last minute VIP feedback. And then I realized when I started this stream it was still titled. I was gonna play Kingdoms of Amalur because that to me is kind of like a mindless, colorful, cheerful fantasy game, which I've been playing quite a bit the past couple weeks. But it's not an amazing game. It's just a game that it's a little bit like World of Warcraft if it weren't an MMO type of thing. So, but the game I've really been playing for the last few days is this game, Stranded Alien Dawn. It's a little bit like RimWorld, except it's got good graphics. RimWorld's been around for like 10 years though, so RimWorld has got a lot more features and depth to it. So this game's, compared to RimWorld, is a little more bare bones, but sometimes RimWorld's got a little too much going on. So I've been enjoying this game. I wasn't sure if anyone else would enjoy watching me play it, but Brad, who's not even here right now, assured me that he enjoys watching me play this kind of game more than he likes watching me play Kingdoms of Amalur, which he said is insultingly mediocre. Was that, what did he say? What was his, he does not like Kingdoms of Amalur. He doesn't hate it, but it is the most mediocre game that ever was, so saith Brad. And, hello, Nick. Hello, Eric 3. You're on time. We don't have to worry about Evie this time. Or have Skull Sphinx come in and assure us that she's okay. Oh no! Joss is only here for Kingdoms of Amalur? Well, if there were a throwdown in the chat of people who really wanted to see Kingdoms of Amalur, then I was gonna stream it. Now, Joss, do you really like Kingdoms of Amalur that much? Or are you just saying that because I switched away from it and now you want to be contrarian? But if I know that there are people that are actually into Kingdoms of Amalur, I'd be more inclined to play it. You actually love that game. I like it too. I feel like, okay, Brad calls it mediocre. In some ways, I mean, it's not... Like, Skyrim is kind of, like, to me, sets a bar for, like, an overworld game. Kings of Amalur, there's stuff that's a little bit, you know, I don't know. There's stuff that's not perfect about it, but, like, I really like it. It's just I tend to get bored of it. Like, I've never finished it. I think right now I'm further in the game than I've ever been. I'm past the, that whole starting forest area that I've only ever played in, like, the forested areas. And now I've moved on to, and I gotta say, Joss, have you played it all the way through? Because the world really opens up. Like, I was kind of blown away when I left the forest areas, and there are huge open plains that go, like, just open blue skies, green fields, rolling hills going on for miles. And it's not what I was used to seeing from that game. Like, visually, I was like, I didn't even know the game engine for this game could support open terrain like that. Oh, you beat it twice when it came out. Okay. So, Brad, Joss is disappointed that I'm not playing Kingdoms of Amalur. Although, let's see, when I put it in, it did... I fixed up the stream title and the thumbnail while the trailer was playing. I realized after I hit the go live button that I had not changed the stream title, and I'd created a thumb, and it was all ready to go. I just forgot to do it. Well, no, we're committed now. I got it on the background video. Stranded Alien Dawn. But, I don't know. If we play this for a while, and... Okay, a couple things against this game for my stream is... I mentioned RimWorld, but this is kind of like a RimWorld with good graphics. But one thing you could do in RimWorld is you could rename the survivors after people in chat, which I felt like any game where I can rename the survivors to be you guys is immediately improved. I like it when there's like little Nixies and Eevees and Brad Pritchards running around getting, bit by alien space dogs or whatever. They don't let you, I guess technically, like, you could, very complicated process of going to the mod pages, and there are survivors that are created through mods, and then if you know how to edit mods, you can change the modded survivors. And I actually looked into that at one point, like earlier this week, and it was just too complicated. The game itself does not let you customize. So I'm like, nah, I'll just wait for that to happen. Or if they come out with a mod that lets you customize them in-game, I'll do that. But, Yeah, you want the alien space dogs to give you alien space rabies? Yeah, so far, one of our survivors has got liver cirrhosis. Cirrhosis of the liver, and that's his, it's not a very alien or exotic condition, but he already had it. It's a chronic condition. I guess he had it before they crashed. And a couple times people got food poisoning, and a couple times in the winter, a couple people got colds. Like, but no one's gone beyond that. Apparently they can get really sick and shit can happen, but so far I'm keeping them together. They've been, I think I'm about a year in game time in the game. You think it should be you that has the space cirrhosis of the liver? Yeah, I wonder if that's if I could change the name of the guy. His name is Jack. I would definitely change it to Brad. We can just pretend it's Brad. Your schedule's changed from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. starting day out. Oh, after Thanksgiving, cool. Extra super duper cool. Very exciting. Apparently she likes the schedule. It seems very normal, which is potentially good. Yeah, it's a little earlier, right, Evie? It's a little bit earlier. I think that's a good balance, because 10 a.m. is still like not the butt crack of dawn, so you can still sleep in a little bit, but doesn't feel like you're working till the middle of the night, you know? Oh, what else? What else going on this week? Still watching Schitt's Creek. Been having fun, not binging. Did I do anything else? I'm taking the whole next week off for my birthday. Well, because also Thanksgiving. I take Black Friday off, and then I have Thanksgiving off, and then there's only 3 more days in the middle. My birthday's on Sunday. I'm not committing to a birthday stream, but it's entirely possible. I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea what I'm doing this weekend aside from not working. There was all these possibilities that we would take a week off and have some big trip to Europe or something to celebrate because of my 50th. It's a big one, kind of coming up on Sunday. But ultimately, it's like we're thinking maybe over the next year we'll do a big trip like that. And also, I think next year they're going to add an extra week of vacation to my vacation time because I've been at my employer long enough. It's just real hard to get that kind of time off without it being like around another major holiday like Thanksgiving. But if I had been like, screw it, we're going to Europe or wherever, then, we could have done it this week. It's just that I didn't put it together. Yeah, Evie, I'm winning. I need to do a stream on not Thursday, since you probably have plans. You're right. Yeah. No, we're hosting Thanksgiving over here, so we're definitely. I probably need to try to stream before, but because we're doing stuff going on like in the days after Thanksgiving too. There's a few things coming up here and there. But, yeah, I have to think about that. I think maybe I will stream on my birthday. Why not? We're stranded out here. Aliens! That's right, Matus. Hawkvember requires a Thanksgiving stream. But this can be your Thanksgiving. Be thankful that I'm streaming today. And that will be... And you can have a big feast. But yeah, Thanksgiving stream is on Thanksgiving are a definite no-go for me. And hey, Matus. So yeah, so how's everybody doing this week? The cop simulators sounded like hokey and fun. It sounded kind of goofy almost. But I've forgotten it's on there, honestly. I could probably go through, because that game's actually come on sale a bunch of times, and every time it comes on sale, I'm like, nah. I think I saw some videos about it, and I thought it looked kind of funny. But then, it always looked like, I have a feeling it's one of those, it's just on my wish list, so I can think about it. Let me see, let me take a look. What on the wish list do I really want? All right, I'll go on to the. I just occurred to me that it's on my birthday, so people might. Maybe I should clean up the wish list of the games that are on there, but that I don't really want. All right. Here, we can go on a journey together. On my wish list. All right, here we are. This is people might. Okay, so, and again, a lot of these are like, I don't expect people to. This list is mostly for myself. It's not for people to get me presents, but I know we formed a tradition, and I have a habit too of I know it's somebody's birthday, I might look over the wish list and see if like any games that I think are extra cool. And or on sale. All right, so System Shock. I don't know if I would necessarily say it's not necessarily the game I want more than anything in the world, but it ended up on the top of this list. But I do want that. I'm not dying to play it, but I do want it. We Love Katamari. Definitely interested. That's the sequel to Katamari Damacy. I've never had a functioning console that could play it. So this is probably an emulator I could have, but this is the first time that it's been available. I don't think it's been on sale yet, but it came out this year. And I love Katamari Damacy, so I definitely want that. Dredge just looked interesting, so yes, I am interested. Most of the stuff towards the top I do want. Age of Wonders, like when I'm in the right mood for it, I probably want to sink my teeth into it. I'm not dying to play it, but it's definitely a game I'm interested in. It is a game that I want. This one, We Who Are About to Die, I'm going to get rid of this one. Remove it. It's come on sale a couple times, and when I've given it a closer look, I'm like, nah. Stray, I just think looks like a cool game, but I'm not dying to play it, but I am interested. I do want to play it at some point. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. I spent a lot of time with the original Mountain Blade games, and when I'm in the right mood to play them, I can get really into them. So this is Mountain Blade 2. Definitely a game that I want. Forever Skies. That looked kind of interesting. It could probably go further down on the list. Some of these, The Last Spell, that's actually one that I thought looked kind of cool. And that's even on sale right now. Terra Invicta looks interesting, but it's one that's kind of... A lot of these are just games that, like, if this got really cheap, I'd get it, but I don't... It's got a lot of, like... People say it's got a lot of jank and it's overcomplicated, and I'm like, it's sort of like I might not jump into it. Clan Folk is a little bit like RimWorld, except it's more about families and generations. Kind of into that. A lot of these are just sort of like, yeah, I kind of want them sometime. I might want to get it sometime and play it. But like if I had this in my library right now, a lot of these I wouldn't be playing them. Space Haven's another example. Space Haven's been on deep sale a few times, and I've just skipped over it. I've almost taken it off my wish list, but it's one of those where it's in early access and it looks like it could be really good, but it's never quite gotten there yet. So I'm waiting. I want to keep it keep it bookmarked so that either if it's super cheap or if it gets on, comes into full release and is feature complete. Oh, wait, people are saying stuff. Okay, they're like two people you get birthday gifts for, and I'm one of them. Oh, Brad, I appreciate that. The guy hated black people, and you feel like it filters through to now. Who? The guy that did Cop Simulator? I think I missed context. Oh, Lovecraftian. Anything that has love. No, sorry, I didn't read. You know how I am, Brad. Anything that has Lovecraftian. What said Lovecraftian? Oh, Dredge. I don't know that. I don't know that this is enough of Lovecraft's philosophy to include the racism, but and I don't know that the people made it were like we want to make it like Lovecraft, but it could be. I don't know. It looks like kind of a cool game. I just don't think it. I never thought it looked $20 cool. I thought it looked like maybe $12.99 cool. Like Cop 72 hate black people. I wasn't trying to go there. uh Rising Star 2, another one. It's like a rock band simulator, like where you are a band trying to be successful, not like Rock Band where you're playing a guitar in real life. Again, one that I thought looked interesting, but didn't want to rush out and get. They Are Billions used to be higher up on the list. Um, just keeps getting pushed further down the list. But I've been interested in playing They Are Billions for a long time. Um, I do have an interest in it. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I do have the original Stanley Parable, so I think that's why I haven't been on fire to get this version. And this probably no one should get for me if you're thinking about it, because I have the original version. I think it's like if I try and buy it, I'll get a discount, or at least that happens. So this make a bad gift. You're gonna make me learn how to play Go? That's on my wish list. Like I've wanted to learn how to play Go a couple times. But that does it does feel like. Do you play Go, Brad? Um, Based on the rate at which you play games and twos, you went through your wish list and purged it down to a bone. Yeah, I could probably do that. There's a lot of stuff here that I could get rid of. Gloomwood looks kind of like an indie version, and I think it might be a one man team. It's like the original Thief game, which I was a huge fan of. But all they have right now is like one level. It's like the game is only 10% of the content is there. It's a game that like it's totally my jam, but I don't think it's ready yet. I think what's there is already great. I just don't think it's like I don't think I want to jump in because there's not enough there yet. Dyson Sphere program. That's another like Factorio type of situation. People seem to think it's really awesome. Uh, for some reason, I almost thought I had this, but I think it was because it was available on Game Pass. Whatever you buy, you're just not playing it anytime soon, so best not to get it at all. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I put a lot of things on my wish list, but a lot of these, like, really, I wouldn't like go out of my like the Hunt Showdown. I'm just gonna remove it. That's I was watching somebody play that, and I thought it looked cool, but it's not the kind of game that I would probably end up playing. Police Simulator, I think it's safe to remove that. Sapiens, I think it's safe to remove that. This it's safe to remove. There's actually a free version of this that I started playing. And I just didn't get into it. Remove that. I think Captain's Industry might actually have something. War of the Worlds. I don't even know what this game's gonna be. I just saw a little trailer or something for it a few months ago and thought I want to keep my eye on it. Jedi Survivor. I'm interested in if they fixed it, but and also not for $70. Last of Us. I'm almost tempted to take off the list because I've always wanted to play it, but I've heard the PC port is so awful that I don't want to. Even if it was in my library, I wouldn't want to play it right now. But I'm hoping they will fix it, and from all accounts, they have not done so yet. So this is staying in here to see if it comes. This is another survival is another kind of generic survival game. Uh, Another survival game. This one looks really cool. It's not out yet. White Sands. There's some I put on here because I thought they look cool and they're not out yet. I think I'd like The Last of Us, but not if I'm playing a PC port that's like awful and doesn't run well. But there's probably other games that I just haven't thought to put on here. But I think like, let's see. And none of these are like really cheap right now. Are there ones further down the list that I want to put up? Now, Brad, if you wanted me to learn Go, that would be perfectly acceptable. The thing is about the Go is I just don't know if I'll ever actually get around to play it. I'm interested in trying to. But every time I look at this, and it's been on sale a few times, and I'm always like, I just don't know if I'm gonna actually take the time and like learn the time and patience to learn it. I have Hollow Knight. Yeah, I already have a considerable number of games. Most of the games that I want, I've already acquired. That's sort of the problem, is I'm in a position now where most of the things that end up on this list are games that I just didn't want bad enough to write to straight out buy. Oh, what is this? Uh-oh. I got a gift. Oh my god. Okay. Yes, Brad. Love you so much. I don't think you're old for 50. I appreciate that, Brad. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this. So honestly, this might have been the game that I wanted most on my wish list. So, and sorry, I don't know if you intended for me to make a fuss out of getting it right here on stream, but I will accept your gift, Brad, and I will say that I'm very happy to get that. Like pretty much of all these games, that's probably the one that I want the most, and now it's gone. So you weren't going to give me the Go game. Well, the reason I would think that is if you're totally into Go, and then if I learned Go, and then you wanted to play Go, because that's the next problem is if I learn to play Go, I don't know anybody. Like I don't think I could get Amanda to learn to play Go. Like even though we're into board games, I have a feeling nobody would play Go with me. So that would have been the situation for Go. If you're like a Go, like, oh, I love Go, and you have that game, that version of Go, I think you could play it free online though too. Like if anyone knows how to play it, there's like free versions you can just play if you already know how to play. You didn't intend for me to do it on stream, but also did not. You're not ashamed to let other viewers know that you love me. I appreciate that, Brad. Appreciate you're one. You're one of my favorite people too, Brad. My wife probably is glad you live all the way on the other side of the planet because I talk about you all the time, Brad. Usually it's in the context of like, I wonder if Brad's gonna like this game that I got. I wonder if I streamed this game, what would Brad say? There's a lot of that kind of discussion happening in the G Law household between me and my wife. Discussion about what Brad would or wouldn't like, what Brad will think about a thing. This thing that Brad said the other day. So yeah, Mountain Blade is, yeah, and that's an example. Like I have System Shock at the top, but that's not. I think I just when I put it on there, I just bumped it up. It was at the bottom. I pumped it to the top because I am interested in it. But really, like this stuff will alternate. Like occasionally, I'll see something and I'll get real hyped about it. I'll move it up the list, then I'll move it down the list. Your partner's also where me. Well, I can only imagine because every Thursday you gotta. Well, actually, no. During the week though, she probably doesn't. She's probably not around while you're at my streams. But yeah, it's kind of funny because I do bring you up quite a bit around the house. Like your name comes up. Just well, it's that's the same with a lot of you, Evie and Nick and everything else. It's like I talk about you guys like like I would talk about any friends that I just have or hang out with. Like, oh yeah, Nick said blah 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 blah, or Nick's been playing this game, or Brad's been playing this game, and there's Chris plays games. Hi, how you doing, man? Good to see you. So we just went over my wish list. I'm loath. There's probably a number of these I should take off of it. um, but they're all on here for a reason. I wonder if there's anything like, hmm. Hey, look, Satisfactory is on sale for $16.49. That's a good deal. Because the thing is, I've just sort of been getting the games. Like, if I really want a game, I've been buying it. But usually I try not to buy it unless I'm ready to play it right away. It's it's probably just because I'm one of your best friends. You couldn't even find a friend from Wyoming? What? I thought you were from Ohio. Why do you have any associations from Wyoming? Oh, you're talking to. Oh, you're interacting with Chris too. I didn't say blah 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 until just now it is. Oh, Nick, I must have mischaracterized. I must have mischaracterized what you said. Classic G-Law literacy. Yeah, totally. And Chris is another person a partner knows about. Okay. Mm. Yeah, I think honestly, I I probably talk about you, Brad, more than anyone else. And it's just because you're the one that comes to stream with all the hot takes. And you're also the person that I probably think about the most when I'm trying to decide what to play. Because a lot of people just kind of don't give a shit. But Brad will always tell me. And so it's become almost, well, you're cool if I'm playing a game you don't like, you bitch about it, but you're still cool. It's not like you storm out or anything. But it's almost like a thing, like I get a new game, and one of the things I'll be thinking about is I wonder if Brad would like this game, or I'll know, oh, Brad doesn't like this. You're very forceful. You definitely have your opinions, I'll say that. um and it seems like most of your opinions are negative. Like, there's just a lot of stuff you don't like, uh which is okay. you know you don't it's okay not to be someone that just likes everything, you know but it definitely becomes like a thing where on my channel where I'm always like, I wonder what Brad will think of this game, or Brad will like that. I'm wondering if Brad's gonna like Stranded Alien Dawn. Just everyone, just so you all know, the reason I'm playing Stranded Alien Dawn tonight is because I was going to play Kingdoms of Amalur, which is a very generic fantasy game that's about 12 years old now. It's a remaster, but I like revisiting it from time to time. And after my post-October Alien Dark Descent stress, I still want to finish Alien Dark Descent. I played it a little more after last week, but it's too dark and stressful. Like, I needed something colorful and cheerful. And that's what Kingdoms of Amalur kind of is to me. It's just like fairy tale like. It's got a very fairy tale like environment. The music, the lore, everything feels very ethereal and like Shakespearean, fairyland type of thing. Yeah, Alien Dark Descent is definitely grim and grindy. And like last week, I felt almost a little bad because I streamed it and I was on a particularly tough level. And I don't think I wasn't in the mood for that. And I definitely wasn't in the mood to try and like struggle through it. Like I definitely couldn't half-ass it. Like, I had to buckle down and think about what I was doing and really figure out like how to get past where I was. And I think eventually I did. But like, I wiped and reloaded like 5 times. And on the stream, and I don't like it's I know you guys don't think I'm like, oh man, I don't want to tarnish my, everyone thinks I'm such an awesome gamer and that I'm great at these games. I don't think that. And in fact, probably I think I'm a better gamer than you guys see, just because like I say, I don't focus when I'm streaming. But I still don't think I'm an awesome gamer. Anything that I play because I like it, not necessarily because I'm good at it, right? Baseball stars. Someday I'll get back. I know it's been a couple years now. Someday I'll get back to Super Mega Baseball. I go through phases where like I'll be really into that sort of thing. And there's definitely a streak in me that can get super into playing baseball. But in general, I'm not into sports. You know, in general, I'm not that into sports. I also like could go back to golf. I really 2K21. I was really into that when I'm in the mood to play it. And hey, James Baker, what happened to James Baker? He used to be such a nice boy. Now he comes in like, you suck, lol, I unsub. Ouch. Right before my birthday, too. James. You ruined my 50th birthday with that comment. He's mad because I don't play baseball? Okay, that's fair. Oh, Brad, there's probably some news that you'll be happy to learn about. I actually, before I started playing Stranded Alien Dawn, I almost went back to Starfield. And in fact, I did try to go back to Starfield. And the way that mods work somehow, something got broken. My game updated. I accidentally did the Steam launcher and the game updated, so all my mods broke. And when I tried to go into the mod manager to fix things up, they've changed like the directories for it, and it basically just exploded whenever I tried to launch it. So I know I can fix it, but I gotta really want to play it for me to either remove all the mods and play it vanilla, or figure out how to get the mods working. And at the end of the day, I was getting a little burnt out on it already. So Brad, what this probably means is, even though my plan was to go back to Starfield soon, and that would be my game till I finished it, probably not. I'm probably gonna be messing around with this. I might still keep playing Kingdoms of Amalur, but really I think the big ticket game that I'm gonna go back to soon will be Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, there you are. Baldur's Gate 3, hell yes. Starfield, meh. Have I heard of Winday's Savage Tweets? Windies? No. Obviously I haven't. I am streaming right now, Noah. You looked me up and haven't watched you since your early Skyrim days. Oh my god, that's been a while. That was but I spent almost, I don't know, 6 months or almost a year. Skyrim was like the main thing that I played. Skyrim is still one of my favorite games. That's why I'm surprised certain people really didn't like Starfield, because they also like to watch me play Skyrim. But it is definitely different. It's definitely different. Kingdoms of Amalur is a good game to play when you're just chilling by yourself. I think the reason I like it, and I feel like it could possibly work on stream, is just because it's just an open world. It doesn't cause me to think too much. The problem with it is it's very wordy. And when you get talking to the NPCs, they will go on and on and on and on. And so that's one thing that when I think about streaming it, I'm like, nah. Oh yeah, Shirley something or other, that grandma that plays Skyrim. I've never binge watched her, but I definitely watched her. I have not stopped. That's right, James. I've been, and I think at the point that I was doing the Skyrim, I was already doing Thursday night streams. That's been my tradition. Thursday night streams, and then randomly, bonus days, other days of the week. But I think Thursday, when I first started streaming in 2015, I went like where I didn't play anything unless I was streaming for about 3 or 4 months. And that burned me out. Like, I play games I'm an introvert. I play games to recharge. It's my quiet, it's my private time. And I use it as my personal downtime. And when I stopped letting myself have that, I almost quit streaming. Just because I was like, I can't cope with it. I want people to stop talking to me. I just want to play my games. And then after a couple months, I came back, and that's when I settled in on a Thursday night schedule, where I still like streaming, but I know if I stream more than once, sometimes I'll stream twice a week, but if I stream more, I'll kind of burn out. I'll get impatient with people. I'll get like Well, it was different before too, because I had a lot more people coming and there were a lot more. It was a lot busier, so you get a lot of like rando like raids, which raids are awesome, but then you end up with a bunch of like a kingdom raid, and a bunch of kids come in, and they're all not all. Some of them are cool, but a lot of them are kind of get on your nerves. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, but yeah, I think it was since like mid to late 2016. That's when I started the Thursday night streams, and I'm still basically doing it. I've had a couple of breaks at different points. But I don't think I've taken a break for more than like maybe 3 months. I think when I moved here, I took a break for 3 months. And that was a personal stuff happened in my life years ago. I know I took I think I took a couple months off at one point over just because other stuff was happening in my life. It's still the same intro. Well, yeah, I usually for each game I play, I'll make the background video, and then but yeah, I still have the same. It's the same intro screen, just with a different title, logo, and background video for each one. Slithero, what's that? Is that game that you... Wait, is that the game that... Did you get me that game to play? Now I can't remember. I think that you wanted to play with Brad and me. Anyways. Now that I'm going to be 50, I can be in the charming when old folks do normal things. Yeah, I was talking with my wife about that, and about me turning 50, and I'm trying to remember because it's kind of got in my head a little bit. Just the fact that 50 seemed like such a big number, and I don't understand how I'm like, holy fuck, how am I not just turning 32 or something right now? Like, 50? Are you serious? That's like, my dad is 50. Of course, my dad is like, got a lot older than that, and he's passed away now. But but when I think about 50, I think about like my dad, like an old, like I think about my dad at 50. I'm like, he's this old guy, and I'm like, that's not me. Oh, it's a worm version of Agario. You know what? It has got in my head. I am definitely in better shape than when I was 45. In fact, at the moment, I'm in better shape than I've been for like 20 years. The last time I was in this good a shape is before I went to law school. And it was before I got the security job. And I was temping, and I did a lot of factory manual labor work. And I got in really good shape because what I did was super physical all day long. And that is when I was about 30. So, yeah, almost exactly 20 years ago. Actually, a little bit more. I think it was 28, 29. So I was in my 20s. So this is the best shape I've been in since my 20s. You like it when I wear the Under Armour shirt in particular? I appreciate that. Well, Evie, age has been a number. I disagree. I think age is a significant factor in for a lot of things. Age matters. And it doesn't always matter in all the ways that people think that it matters, but it does matter. So, like, your body does, however well you take care of it, it does wear down over age. I think the longer you live, the more potential you have to learn or grow, but that's not always a good thing. Some people grow, I think, in a wrong direction. They become like whatever the things that aren't great about them, they become entrenched. But on the flip side, other people, they're learning throughout their lives. So there's a lot of evolution that goes on the longer you live. Whether that's good or bad evolution varies per person, right? So that's where you can't say it matters. Like, oh yeah, older is wiser. Not necessarily. Some people get stupider as they get older, and sometimes their brain goes a little bit. But not just that. People whatever it is that, like, I was talking with my wife about this today, and saying like, I'm worried that by the time I'm in my 70s, I'm going to be this insufferable, impossible, eccentric, like impossible to deal with dude. Because I always thought of myself as like super chill, go with the flow. And then I've learned as I've gotten older that I'm not. I'm not super chill, go with the flow. I don't know if I ever was. I mean, I am in some ways, right? I am in some ways. I'm not like someone that's raging all the time and going off on people. But what I have found though is that like I can't have a temper. I can get impatient with people. I can like be judgmental, and not about usually about the things that people are worried like that when you think about someone being judgmental, but like I don't know. Well, that's like I do QA at my job. My whole job is to tell people what they do wrong. And so I'm looking at what they're doing, like, nope, that's wrong. That was why'd they do that? Why'd they do it that way? What were they thinking? Well, what was it? That's wrong. So and then I look at that and I go, man, I'm kind of like a nitpicky SOB. It's working out for me because it's become like my career. But whatever, it's me being like, I wouldn't do it that way. Brad, you met a lot of dumb old people. Yeah, and the thing is, I've met old people that are really, you know, I would say, oh, they're wise, and like, I want to listen to what they have to say. But age doesn't matter. I mean, by the time someone's like in their like pushing 90, then it's like at this point, look, you know, as medical technology changes, this may differ. But usually, by the time people are like pushing that old, they're no longer the wellspring of like, oh, I got to listen to everything this guy says, because their minds kind of slow down at that point. They're not necessarily, I mean, there are people that are 90 that are still sharp as a whip, but a lot of them aren't, right? And it's not their fault. It's just like what the brain does when they get older, it just slows down. But yeah, so I think that's the thing. Whenever I hit a decade, you start thinking like, holy crap, how did 50? Holy shit. That's like an old person. And I've never thought of 50 really as being like old. But I definitely looked at it like when you hit 40, you're sort of right in the middle, right? But you're definitely not like super young. I don't consider 40 like 20s is sort of like prime time. When you first hit adulthood, you're at your physical prime and everything. 30s is a little bit like 20s 2.0. A lot of times 30s are even better because you got your shit together. That didn't happen for me, but people in their 30s have started figuring out their shit. But it's like when I hit 40, that's when I felt like, all right, I don't think I'm old, but I'm also not, you know, I'm starting to like be aware that my body's like, I can't treat it like shit. That's why I quit smoking, all this shit. I was aware that I wasn't in my 20s anymore. And then I also would feel weird trying to pawn myself. I did stream and shit. That's one thing that's a little bit like not normal for people my age to do. But like, for example, when I hit 40, I wouldn't have gone to like a nightclub, a dance club that I went to in my 20s. I would have felt like a big old fucking weirdo. Even before that, but like 40, that's an example. It's like I wouldn't go down to Tijuana and go into clubs in Tijuana at 40. It would have felt fucking weird, right? Because that's like, I'm definitely too old for that shit. Okay, let me see all these comments that I've missed. Age is real. Your hair looks like shit, and I hate it. I'm sorry, Brad. I'm sorry. Hair can be a fucked up thing too, because there's you know, there is what you can do with your own hair, but then hair thins, hair does all sorts of shit that like it's just genetics, right? It can you can go bald, it can thin out, it can end up just doing weird shit. Tell Florence to murder you if you ever act like an asshole to retail workers. Oh, no, that's one thing I think over time that I've gotten better at. The only time that I have less patience because I've been in retail a lot, is if I see someone that really is like has a bad attitude. It's different from someone that has a bad day. I can sympathize if someone just seems like they're dead on their feet and they're not like jumping with joy and enthusiasm of what they're doing. That I understand. But if there are people that are in retail and they're treating you like they blatantly don't give a shit, that's where I'm like, and I still won't necessarily go off on somebody, but that's where I feel less grace for those people. But if there's someone that like I could tell they're trying to do their job and they're doing something that's annoying or they're screwing things up, I don't care about that. That's like, and I don't think I'll ever get that way. And now that the job that I've worked now, I think I'm a lot more patient with call center people because I've seen the flip side of that and what it's like for those people to actually do the jobs they're supposed to do. Unless they're scammers, I don't fuck them. But if they're just regular like contact center people, you haven't met any wise children, but the experience with people over 60 aren't impressing you either. I've definitely met people over 60 that I've thought were wise. And again, sometimes, you know, that's those same people, there'll be certain character traits that, like, oh, that's weird, the way that's, like, they didn't used to be like that. Like, certain things will kick in, their eccentricities or whatever. Because I think also sometimes people get older, they stop giving a shit as much about, like, putting up the pretenses about being nice or being whatever, and they'll just be like, they can become a little more unfiltered. You hope to look as good as I do when I'm when you're 50. I appreciate that, Brad. I think now I don't think I'm like Mr. Amazing. I don't look in the mirror and go, what a beautiful man. But I think I'm okay, and I think I'm okay for 50. Like, that's one thing that I am happy about is, well, we'll see if I reach my target weight, because I know I have seen people that are around 50 that look young, and then they lose a bunch of weight, and all of a sudden, all the wrinkles that would have been there, they were being puffed out by their fat faces, and then they lose the weight, and it's like, oh yeah, now he looks 50. So, we'll see. We'll see if that happens. Your dad is 73, and he's a very kind man, open-minded for his age. No, that's cool. And like, yeah, like I said, not everybody that gets older is like, becomes curmudgeonly and what. I feel like I might, because that's my tendency. Like, as I got older, it's like, well, I've always kind of wanted my own space and my own time. So that's not a new thing. But, yeah, I definitely become a little more guarded to have my space. But I think part of that's just the politics of being like sharing your life with other people. So like Amanda came from a big family with lots of brothers and they're always all together all the time. I was raised a single child. And I know they'll have a tendency to want to like all get together and maybe like spend a whole week together and whatever. And that wears the shit out of me. Like I can't hack with that. Or like her mom comes over and spends a lot of weekends with us. Because the two of them are like sisters. They love going, you know, whatever. And that's great. But I'm like, oh, we're hosting like again or whatever. It's like, but then they're totally cool about like, oh yeah, well we know she comes over a lot, so it's like you can still do your thing or whatever you want to do. Like it doesn't have to be like when you're entertaining house guests and you've kind of constantly the whole activity is making sure that they're attended to and entertained the whole time they're there. It's like, it's not like that. So then I'm given my space again. But there's just all these weird politics with me about like, not wanting to be around people all the time. And not wanting like people to be visiting our house all the time. But if I'm given my space, then I'm like, okay. But, you know. All right, what else? Now you want to go to TJ and smoke some meth? No, That was that TJ story. I don't need to get into that, but that's funny though. Some of those times I look back at when I was younger, and I have a kind of a nostalgia for like my TJ days, but I also go, oh my god, Like, I cringe. I cringe so much at so many of like the situations that I was in my 20s. So many of my social interactions I look back on and just cringe, right? So that's another thing too, is like when I was younger, I thought, oh, I'm a good guy, go with the flow, easy go, blah, blah, blah. And then I look back later and I realized like, no, I wasn't. Maybe I'm just aware now that I wasn't. I'm embracing the fact. See, all drugs would be legal when I'm 90. That makes fair. The hair is not a problem. Mine looks beautiful. But thank you, Brad. I think I've got good hair. I do have to work with it. And one of the reasons I'm not on cam is because I need a haircut real bad, and I just haven't. I've been a lazy ass. So the other reason was when I do on cam, it's just a whole other layer. Setting up the green screen, I kind of get shut in this little corner of my room. Like it becomes it's not exactly claustrophobic, but sometimes it's like I don't want it, whatever. So, but needing the haircut was a factor. If you survived to 80, you're getting back into coke. All right. Was that Little Miss Sunshine, the grandpa played by Alan Arkin? That was like his thing. I don't think it was just coke either. I think he was like into some hard like injectables and shit. But no sugar. That's fair. No sugar. But cocaine, that's fine. Yeah, Evie, you get worn out with interacting with people in real life. Yeah. Definitely, like, and that goes for everybody, like even Amanda. And there's no one in the world who, if you made me be just in a room socializing with them nonstop, I would lose my shit. It doesn't matter who they are. They could be it could be a clone of myself that likes everything exactly the way I like. I'd probably irritate the shit out of myself after a little while. You're like, dude, I'm tired of hearing your voice, man. I'm tired of hearing the way you eat. It doesn't bother me when I do it, but when you do it, it's fucking irritating. I could see myself getting getting tired of being around me. You think if you had a clone of yourself, Brad, you'd hate him? Stop crunching nuts. No, I haven't done the nuts thing in a while. But yeah, I do like my hair. I'm definitely, my hair I'm getting some gray spots in it, but so far it's like, it almost kind of looks cool where the little gray streaks are in it. I'm not quite as cool about all the gray that's in my beard, but I don't really want to dye my beard. I don't know. We'll see what happens with my beard. Maybe when I get thin, I'll shave it off. But because part of the reason I like having facial hair as a fat person is it helps you if you got a round baby jelly bean like face, facial hair just helps give your face more definition. It's like the reason I like glasses too, because it's like a nice accessory for my face. So, and my hair when the right length and properly styled is, I like my hair too. But it does take, if it grows out and it's left to its own devices, it starts looking really dumb. So I don't even have my cam plugged in right now, so I can't show you. I don't think I look terrible, but I definitely got like almost a fro going on right now. Gray hair is fine. Yeah, I think the reason I don't like it in my beard is because it just starts like, my beard starts looking indistinct. Like it just starts looking like my beard is patchy. So it's hard to like, if I want I have the facial hair to have a certain shape on my face, and it's all like alternating of light brown and gray. Yeah. It's not the gray itself where I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's just sort of like, I don't know, man. Well, it's never looked, I don't think it's looked patchy in the sense that it's, not, there's no hair there. But, I don't know, sometimes I see all the gray and I'm like, And it's also, not that I mind, but all the gray in my hair and my beard is the main indicator that I am, in fact, like almost 50. Like, I think if I shaved my beard off, people would almost not believe if I told them I'm turning 50 this weekend. But if you see my beard, you can go, yeah, I mean, he looks good for his age, but I can see it. just get an Under Armour chin strap. Okay. just one for the hair on top and one for the hair underneath. I'm sure they got it. I don't know, like a sporting thing. You would freak out if I shaved my beard off, so do that. I don't know if I will. Like, I've had facial hair since I was 19. And the only time I shaved it off was, I mean, I've shaved it a couple times, and whenever I do, I go, I like the facial hair. I need it back. The only time I had it off for a couple of years is I worked a job where you had to be clean shaven, or it was a security guard job. Either clean shaven, or you could have like a very walrus-like mustache, which I did not feel like looked good at all. So it's like, yeah, but I definitely look like big fat baby face with no beard. And I almost feel like it looks weird at this point. I played for the Cincinnati Reds. I know like, the first time I shaved my beard after Amanda met me, and it was after we knew each other for like a year. And I think just randomly, once in a while, I would just sort of shave it off. I haven't done that in a long time. What I'll do now is I'll trim it super short. Like 1/4 of an inch or short. Where it's like a stubble. And I still think I look fine. With some stubble, I think I look fine. But if I'm clean shaven, it's just like baby face. Oh, the security guard had walrus mustache code. Basically, yeah. I think it could only go as far as, like, the edges of your lips. Like, it couldn't go further down than that. But it was just that classic, like, 70s cop, like, Sergeant Dangle or Lieutenant Dangle from Reno 911. I don't know. I think I tried it out once and I'm like, nah, not cool. Not gonna do it. That's why they shit canned Wario. And hey, Zeno, good to see you. It's going good. How long? I've been talking for a goddamn hour. I think today wasn't about really the game. Today was just about hanging out. I was also like feeling a little bit yucky earlier. I think I ate some stuff that didn't get along with me. But I felt much better after I got off work to ease my stomach. I had some Huel, Brad, and now I feel much better. Huel settles my stomach. We are gonna play some games, and in fact, we're playing Stranded Alien Dawn. And so Alien, Xeno, you know, it's a good theme. But yeah, no, we went off on a thing because I'm turning 50 on a Sunday this year. I'm turning 50 this Sunday. And that's like kind of blowing my mind a little bit. I can't believe I'm like, in my mind chronologically, I feel like I might be around 30. Like that I can buy. But 50, that's like, what? 50 is like when my dad was 50, he was an old man. I remember looking at my dad when my dad was around 50 thinking, that's old right there. And that's me right now. Holy shit. So you die from Huel poisoning? No, Huel is nothing but good stuff. It's human fuel, Brad. It's good stuff. This is actually the Loto intro, and Middle Earth has just evolved this much. Yeah. Yeah, this is the 27th age of Middle Earth. No more hobbits. Alright, I could get into the game. I mean, I gotta launch it. Maybe I'll stealth launch Kingdoms of Amalur just to throw Brad off. This is my first time actually launching this game with OBS, so please be good. There we go. All right. Sometimes OBS will randomly just not hook onto a specific game. All right. So I think I can have multiple saves. First main. Because I'm thinking about just showing you guys the intro, just so to give you an idea what this game is like. So there's a bunch of different. The main scenario is crash landing, where it's basically you crash land on an alien world with limited resources, and you have to figure out like how to survive. You don't know what anything is, like the animals, the plants. You got to study everything to figure out how to use it. But then there's a couple other scenarios. One is trading post, where you're there on purpose and you're there to set up like a lucrative to exploit the resources of the world. And there's military outposts where they make it a very harsh planet, and your job is to like create a base that you can survive like all the onslaughts and get a foothold in the planet. But crash landing is like the main thing. And then there's different regions. There's like a desert region, like a wet, swampy region, and then this is sort of just the temperate, what you'd call the vanilla standard region. And you've got different game difficulties. Each world is randomly generated, so they're seeds. So no two games are going to be the same, even if the settings are all otherwise the same. And then when you get in here, these survivors are always the same every time. And they all have very specific traits, very specific personalities. And some of them are related to each other. So, like in my game right now, there's Grayson, and I got him, and he's married to Vanessa. But there's a whole thing about, like, he's had this big crush on her for a long time. But if you look at Vanessa's kind of like, yeah, for her it's a marriage of convenience because being married to him opened up a lot of doors for her. But she's not that into him. And then she's got stuff like she's sickly, but she's also very good at like medical treatment and shit. So all these characters have different skills that fit together in different ways. And you can see all the skills along the right: combat, construction, cooking, crafting, farming, healing, intellect, and physical. So you can pretty much choose, like, get these guys out of here and put whoever you want in there and try to find a good mix of who you think would be good. And then when you choose them, it's just running back and forth and mickle delving. You always thought of me as a wet, swampy region, Brad? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to launch the game so you can see what it looks like when you first crash. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to load the game I'm actually playing so you can see. Yeah, it was on sale recently. I've had my eye on it for a while, you know. So here you are, you've crash landed. And right now they're all, they're screwed up. They all have like smoke inhalation and all sorts of shit. And so they've landed here. And some people say check out where you are, and if it looks bad, restart. But the map is actually pretty big. So, like, I'm just going to go in a direction until I hit the end, just to give you an idea how big the map is. It's definitely... I mean, it's not infinite. I think I'm about to hit the edge of it. Okay. But there's a lot of space here. So you definitely not close in. And I think it's also visually a very pleasing game. I'll hit an edge here. Well, Jurassic World is you know, it's like a game where you have a map, a similar map to this. A lot of games have similar maps to this where you craft and do stuff like that. But this is very much like these guys are Sims, and you set out tasks, and this is where it's like RimWorld, where you have all these activities, and basically you designate who does what, and there's advanced ones so you can prioritize. You're like, all right, who's best at cooking? All right, Han Tae is best at cooking. So we actually want to make sure Han Tae is when cooking needs to be done, they're prioritizing that. So you bump the priority up to 2, and that means they go from left to right, but if anything is lower, they'll do that first. So now she'll do cooking first, and then if there's no cooking to be done, then she'll go and order all the other stuff. And you can go make these up as high as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or restrict them altogether so they will not do that thing. If someone sucks at a thing, if someone who can't cook at all cooks, they're probably going to ruin all your food and make people sick, right? So it's a pretty in-depth, and this again, RimWorld, this goes all the way back to Dwarf Fortress, is really the first game that has this kind of management model. RimWorld is the big example from the last decade that this game is very much in theme like RimWorld. But looks a lot different than RimWorld. So like you're setting these, okay, these guys, you need to, they need to figure out what everything is. So you set things like, okay, they don't even know what these trees are. They don't know what these bushes is. You can send people to observe these animals. Someone observe the animals. So, and then based on what their tasks are, they'll go do those things. And then you've got to set up like stockpiles. So we do storage. You set up a little stockpile, and like that's where they'll put the stuff when they harvest it, once he's got that set up. So I can see here there's like guns and all sorts of shit laying around from this crash. There's a lot of food and rations and things, because they can, you know, starve. All the things for survival. They're gonna need to have shelter, beds, temperature, all the things. There's seasons, so they'll do farming, crops, all of this stuff. But this is how you start. Hante is already roasting marshmallows in the flame of the crash. Or I guess it's a he. Yeah, he's scavenging. He scavenged a laser spear, a laser pike. That's pretty cool. And then this guy has taken upon himself to be the dude that's like transporting all this stuff. I guess somebody can, there's some trees here, we can chop the trees for wood, building materials, good stuff. And he just finished studying this bush over here. Broadleaf birch, just an ordinary bush that can be cut down for sticks. Didn't notice anything else of interest. And that also means now that they've studied it, they can plant it, they can farm it. Observe the big broadleaf tree. He's chiseling a dick pic. So, and eventually they will break all this down to nothing, but there'll still be the crash site. This guy's observing the big horned animal. So he'll just sit here and do this for a while. And we do have some scrap metal. So like the first thing you're doing is, what would they say? Camping, probably. And all they got is scrap metal. So you can plop this down, be like, all right, we need to get down. Oh, campfire, we need sticks. So maybe we do want them to chop down some of these trees. Get some sticks. For camping, they'll also need places to sleep. So we've got some cloth from the ship. So we can set... So we got 4. We'll probably set up another one. And, another shelter. Maybe right here. Put the 4th bed in there. And then, and it's actually better to have your stockpiles be indoors. So maybe put some storage shelves there, and then maybe do another shelter that's just going to be for storage. Let's see, we'll make this one a little bit deeper. And then allocate. Now the stockpiles, they don't hold as many slots, but they're the only ones that can hold big stuff like lumber and all that shit. So you do need like a mix of different storage, but you'll always need just the basic stockpiles to hold the big shit. Ham Tay it's a real piece of shit. Why do you say that? Let's see what. He's a 5th in line for the throne of a backwater kingdom. Han never expected to rule his homeworld of Playa. He didn't care at all. Whoops. Oh, wait, what happened? Hey, listen, I just happen to have a handy little thing. A nano booster shot. When injected, those nanites or whatever increase the host's movement and manipulation. And hell, ain't they handy? Now, before you say anything, it's not a permanent modification. These little things dissolve in a matter of days and leave no trace. Well, they do cause some pain in the meantime, but come on, it's totally worth it. I haven't seen this before. So, this is something where it's like, it makes you more effective, but then you're in pain. And pain can cause, like, if your mood's bad enough, you can have mental breaks. There's like consequences of that. So it's like, okay, he can use it and he'll get 10 days. Or he can give it to everybody and everyone will get these buffs for 5 days. Or you tell them like, fuck off. I don't want to give it. Share it with everybody. Give everybody this nano drugs. Alalee, you would totally live here. Look at this. I think I'm making it nice. You know? Can we make a campfire yet? Scrap metal, little scrap metal campfire. We'll put that there. They can start cooking on there. And then if you look around, you can probably find certain stuff with food. Let's see, those are, they haven't studied this yet, but I think those are cotton plants. I want to see if there's any plants that look like they got something we can eat. Or you could, you know, hunt the critters. Do we have weapons yet? They found a laser pistol and a laser pike. Let's see, who's good at combat? You can tell everyone on how they do on combat by looking at the hunt stat. Combat. So Connor, the bald dude, really good at combat. Daniel Shanks can't even do combat. I guess he's a pacifist or something. The other two are a little meh, you know, whatevs. So definitely a good idea to make him be the he's going to be the dude that initially is going to have both the laser pistol and the laser pike. So if we have any fighting to do, we're just going to let him do it. Well, I guess if he had a knife, he could shank Alalee. I don't know. The Vax actually has 5G. Uh-oh. I cannot confirm nor deny. Yeah, it's mentioning here that they're unarmed people. Yep, that's true. There are going to be some unarmed people for a little while. And then you also manage like their daily schedules. So right now, these guys by default come set to work from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then do anything these other hours. So to encourage healthy habits, I actually like to make sure that they actually sleep. Maybe during these hours. And then maybe have a couple of anything hours in the morning, couple of anything hours in the evening. This gives them time to like have breakfast and stuff. And then it's time for work. And then you can alternate it, obviously, so people like, you have some people working during the day and some people working at night, you know, whatever. You can get real into that. Managing like automated what they're going to do, how they're going to prioritize that work, when they're going to do the work, when they're going to sleep, all that stuff. So again, this is like RimWorld, except with pretty graphics. So I'm gonna load my the actual game that I've been playing this week. So we can see I've been a busy bee. So I got, let's see. Well, okay, I guess better is subjective, but in the sense that they don't look like they don't look like indie cartoon type of thing. And I thought maybe you were just kidding, but you used to bitch about the graphics in RimWorld. This actually has like good modern graphics, modern, you know, models, lighting, all that stuff. So there's Jack. That's the guy with the cirrhosis of the liver. It was minor. It's moderate now. It's an untreatable chronic disease. So, although I think it might have gotten worse because he went on an alien expedition where he encountered something that made him choose to sacrifice some of his health in order to become more intellectual. So it actually maxed out his intellect stat. But now his health is worse. So he's like in pain all the time. He's a little bit like mentally like whatever, and he moves slower. And that's all because of the cirrhosis, but I think it might have gotten worse because of that interaction that he had. Well, RimWorld you could say is stylistic. So, for those that don't know RimWorld, here, I can show it real quick. Because I keep comparing it to RimWorld. And I can take a minute to show you RimWorld. Because there are a lot of people like, oh, this is a ripoff of RimWorld. Well, honestly, like, RimWorld is a ripoff of Dwarf Fortress. There's also that, whatever, that medieval one, Brad. You have that one, too. I definitely want to do a deep dive into that at some point, too. All right. So this is RimWorld. What RimWorld looks like. It plays very similar, but it looks a lot different. In some ways, there's a lot more under the hood.
It was no simple undertaking. The three of us crash landed here. Elena, a princess.
Manual labor is unbecoming.
There's no voice acting in the game.
Good with books, not much else.
And what use is a washed-up soldier like you, Nelson?
Now we are survivors.
We built, mined, harvested,
Endured frightful conditions.
and manhunting rabbits.
Beastly pirates raided us.
We captured some,
Recruited others.
We lived new lives.
entertained ourselves.
In time, Greg and Elena married.
One must compromise one's standards here.
For company, we tamed turtles.
But not everything could be tamed.
Greg started to drink.
You wouldn't stop cheating on me.
Others know how to treat a lady, Greg.
That was when Greg broke down and ran, naked, into a lake.
Yeah, well, let's not forget when Nelson hung out with his llama all day instead of building solar panels.
We all need downtime, Greg.
Despite everything, there was progress.
We began work on a ship to set us free.
But there will be no escape today. This is my base.
This is my sanctuary.
This is my palace.
This is our colony.
All right, so I just thought since I've talked about RimWorld so much, and this game is the premise is very similar. The actual gameplay is very similar. Now, don't get me wrong. I think RimWorld is a great game. I've played the shit out of RimWorld over the years at different points. Why are they not harvesting this shit? Here, you know what, Vanessa? Don't handle the furnace. Pick up this fruit that's been just sitting in the field. Haul the buttermelon. You can tell them directly what to do sometimes. It's just the ideal is that they prioritize stuff and they do it because, oh, Samantha's looking very unhappy. What's wrong with Samantha? Why is she so unhappy? Oh, her coworker here pisses her off. Okay, she was stressed out and her coworker pissed her off. All right, I think we need she's risk of meltdown. So if she's in a bad mood long enough, she can have a meltdown. Now, she's had a couple meltdowns already. She's prone to having, being unhappy about certain things. Okay, she's going to drink now. That's fine. She'll probably feel better. So they're in their rec time. He's going to do some target practice. If she wasn't going to do something for herself, I probably would have made her pump iron. That can help, relieve stress, too, for people. This is very much like RimWorld. It just looks more like Sims. But in terms of what you actually do in this game, it is very much RimWorld. Like RimWorld, I think RimWorld gets down to where you can direct them to, do this thing. You do this thing right now, just like I did. RimWorld has the activity prioritizer. It has almost like these activities. RimWorld has the schedule organizer. This game is very heavily borrows from RimWorld, more than any other game. This borrows from RimWorld. But it definitely feels different than RimWorld, and it does do its own things. Like I said, RimWorld also ripped off Dwarf Fortress. There's a whole genre. There aren't a ton of games in it, but there's a whole little genre of games that are based on this basic skeleton of activities. It just happens that the setting of this is also very much like RimWorld. So they shoot the target till it breaks, and then they have to fix it. But yeah, there's power management. So I've got solar panels. They don't charge at night, so I've got a bunch of these wind turbines. During the day, they charge. We have batteries that they charge and save up the power, so that when we're getting less power at night, we do have reserves, so we can keep the lights on. One thing I'm going to want to do before too long is I was going to swap out these heaters for air conditioning. And in fact, I was going to swap out these freezers for refrigerators. So let's do this. This is going to be cooked meals. Quick, tasty meals. Chef's meals. What's the other category? No, we don't want to put emergency rations in there. Because they don't... First off, we don't want them eating those regularly. And we also don't want to put unfinished food. It's like if he has to stop in the middle of crafting. And I think... we're going to have to transition. Because what I like to do... These are refrigerators, but what I'd like to do is have everything be in freezers. Because my understanding of the game is that freezers are just exactly functionally like fridges, except fridges, things still go bad over time. So like here, we've got a shelf life, and they'll say okay, so buttermelon pie. If it's just sitting outside, out in the sun, it'll last for 2 days. If it's just sitting inside, like on a shelf, it'll last 4 days. If it's in a refrigerator, it'll last 8 days. And if it's frozen, then it'll last forever. And what I've learned is these people are not very conscious-minded when it comes to oh, I should eat the stuff that's going to expire first. So stuff just goes bad and stacks in here, which can be a problem. So yeah, that's one thing. It is a little, Evie just pointed it, and I didn't realize this until I made a second floor. And that's one thing. RimWorld does not have second stories. There's no there's no multiple floors. But yeah, if people are on another floor, you still see them up on the second floor, even when your camera's looking on the map at the bottom floor. You still see the people wherever they are. And I think the same goes if they're downstairs while you're looking upstairs. There's Grayson and Vanessa. She still gets a mood buff for sleeping in a bed next to him. And that's one thing I'm surprised they don't have, like, a double bed. You have to get 2 beds next to each other. But, like, she gets a buff for... Is she not? She was pleased by... Oh, please, okay. He's in love with Vanessa. He gets a bonus for that. Slept in a private bedroom. Slept in a comfy bed. Slept next to my love. So when she sleeps in a bed directly next to him, then he gets in a better mood because of that. Whereas because she doesn't dislike him necessarily, but she's not as crazy about him, she's not getting all these buffs. Oh, I love Grayson. I got to sleep in bed next to Grayson. She does like him a little bit. Let's see. No, actually she doesn't. Her opinion of him is not great. But they do get along. I don't know if they do actual, like, sexy time. If that's what they mean by she was pleased by Grayson. I don't know. One problem I had where Samantha, it's her last breakdown. The first time Samantha had a breakdown, she got reclusive. And she basically ran away and, like, hid from people. She just stayed away from people. The last time she had a breakdown, it was because I'd forgotten this, but one of her character traits is that she's a vegetarian. And she will not eat anything with meat in it. And we got to a point where all we had, it was the winter, all the crops had stopped growing. We'd finished all of our vegetable, like, and grain-based foods, and all we had left was we were hunting those, like, buffalo things. So we kept getting more meat. And then giant insects attack your base at certain intervals. And when you kill them, you can butcher them and store their meat. So we had... In the winter, we had a lot more meat coming in, and she basically started starving because she just wouldn't eat what we had. It's not like a preference. Like, she will die if there's no vegetable food. She will just not eat it and she'll die. All right, this is a little immersion breaking. Like, if you were going to recreationally use the target, wouldn't you go outside, not just shoot through the window by the Jack's head? But that's okay. It's okay. I used to have it out here, and they just shot out this window instead, you know? Oh, I should move the dartboard. It seems like a weird place for it. Because before, I had the bedrooms in here. The bedrooms were taking up all this, so all the living space was all cramped. That's why the dartboard is there. I think that'll look better here, though. Oh, no, I guess it won't. Here, we'll have it over here. Although, you know what? I might need to keep that for storage space. You know what? We're gonna keep this. They can't use it here. It just looks like it's like a dumb place to play darts. Probably doesn't. Best he doesn't read chat. Yeah, I'm doing the thing again, aren't I? Where I get into the game. This is a more complex Sims game. It's definitely more complex than Sims. Like I pointed out, RimWorld. Now, Dwarf Fortress has been around for 25, 30 years. Probably 25 years. It's probably the most complex of this style of game. But RimWorld has got a lot going on. There's a lot more happening under the hood in RimWorld. A lot more, like, different random things can happen. But there's plenty going on here. And it's definitely complex. I like The Sims. I've done my time with The Sims. It's been a while since I've really been into The Sims. I think the problem I had is Sims 3 had that open world, which I really liked, but it caused problems technically, especially as they started adding expansions. So the evolution of the series recompartmentalized everything, and for some reason, since they shrunk the scope, I didn't like it as much. Sims 4 sucks. Yeah, if Sims 4 was still in the open world of Sims 3, I would like it better. It's not quite like Sims 2 was literally each household with its own loading zone. And now they've got little like pocket neighborhoods that are part of the same zone. But well, that's the thing with Sims 3. If you installed, there's like 20 expansion packs, but if you install more than 3 at a time, your game becomes unstable. So that was a problem. So I think they learned some lessons from Sims 3, and that's why in some ways they dialed it back on Sims 4. But I think they dialed it back too much. But I liked Sims 4 too. I put some time into Sims 4, but I think probably Sims 2 and Sims 3 were like, I played a shit ton of Sims for a few years, but that was like in the 2000s, like the 2005 to 2010. Those were probably my prime Sims years, and I haven't really been into it like that again since then. Not like that I used to be. I played the original Sims. Hey, I had most of the expansions for Sims 3. The Supernatural thing was fun. I think for me, I like just the stuff that more made the world seem more real to live in. So my favorites were things like seasons, like the fact that you have the different seasons. Makes a huge difference in gameplay. I liked the option to send people off to college. I thought that was a cool thing to do. And then you got to play them, living in the dorms and going to classes. I thought that was neat. I thought the pets was kind of like, could end up being taking over your game a little bit sometimes, like the dynamics, but I thought the pets was cool. There's a lot of things that just made the world feel more real and alive. And so that's where I was not quite as like Supernatural just changes everything. And it was a lot of fun, but it's like, it fundamentally like changes the game in a lot of ways. And there's some things like that. There's like the city pack that introduced vampires. And I thought all that stuff was a little goofy and fun. But that's why if like I was going to say what were like the must-have expansions, I wouldn't be going straight to stuff like Supernatural. I'd be going stuff that makes it feel more like this is a real world, living, breathing world that feels like real life, In Sims 3, you could teach teens to drive. I didn't remember that. Did they take out burglars for Sims 4? Used to be in Sims 3, you could be a burglar as a profession, but then burglars broke into your house. Did they stop? It's been a while since I played Sims 4, but now that you're mentioning it, I don't remember burglars being a thing in Sims 4. So, the Supernatural pack is definitely like, if you just like playing games about witches and wizards and all that stuff, it adds a ton of stuff to the game. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying when I play it, I consider it like, that's not why I don't go to The Sims because like, hey, The Sims is a really good game about being a wizard. It's like, well, not go to The Sims because I like playing a game about having little simulated people in real life. But if it so happens you want them all to be witches and wizards and casting spells on each other, that could be fun too. They definitely add a lot of cool, fun stuff in there. No robbers in 4. I didn't know that. Is this little pterodactyl dude gonna eat my melons? All right, Samantha just got up and... Samantha does not get along with people. She doesn't like Vanessa, she doesn't like Grayson, and she really doesn't like Talus. These seems to be like the people that she works in this room with. I'm sure I should give her like her own room to work in. She just does not get along with people. A lot of these people don't get along. Now here's the thing. Jack is interested in Samantha. Jack is not even on Samantha's radar. Like, she's just like, who's Jack? You're like, there's only 5 people that live here. Jack's the guy that cooks all your food. It's like, oh, okay. All right, now I realized when I saw the comment about me missing chats, I never did catch up with the chat. Everything's rip-off SimCity. There's a lot of chatter going on. Rimworld is just Dwarf Fortress without the extreme complexity. And also, Dwarf Fortress has a very impenetrable interface that they re-released Dwarf Fortress on Steam recently, and they did a lot of. It's a lot more accessible than it used to be, but it's still, yeah, pretty rough. Whereas, like, just the way that this all works, just be able to use the mouse to select things is a huge step up from Dwarf Fortress. Or I think now you can use the mouse on certain things, but originally it was all like everything was keyboard menus and using arrow keys to navigate them. The best Christians are still virgins because they only had anal sex. I guess I missed that. I missed what led into that. Was it about the special relationship between Grayson? Huh? The terror of the burglar music. All right. Every time I scroll up the chat, I go off the screen and it makes me go to the right. That's why that keeps happening. What is this guy doing? Am I going to have to put a scarecrow on my crops? Nah, it seems like my crops are doing okay. It's making me nervous, like this thing's going to eat my shit. Why can't I play this game in VR? There actually are games, not exactly like this one, but there are like top-down sim type games in VR, like little city builders or God games. There's a couple that I've actually, I think I might even have one on my wish list. It's just I don't necessarily see the, like, super duper see the appeal of playing something like this but there's one that's like a little city builder, so whatever. Seems sort of like missing the point of what makes VR awesome, but all right, let's see, what is this guy doing? And I think I've tried to observe the flying reptile a couple times, but they fly away before I can finish. So, okay, let's get what have I got in this fridge? Well, first off, let's get all the meals out of there. We want the meals to be transported to the other fridge. Let's also take the beverages out of there. What raw food? I'm keeping fruits and other. Sweet syrup does not need to be in there. Sweet syrup is barely not perishable at all. Fruits. All right, temporarily we'll transfer the... Oh, the fruits can go in there. All right. So I'm just going to say keep this empty. We want to empty this out so I can put a freezer there in its place. And Jack, you know what? Here, we got plenty of food. Here, empty this store undesired items. There he goes. Now he's going to put... This is going to be the new, like, meal freezer. So now they're not going to sit there and let all their meals go bad. It looked like he was sleeping on top of the fridge. All right. So we're going to have this thing be dismantled. And then we're going to replace it. Once someone's taking this thing apart, we're going to replace it with a freezer. Are there other dinosaurs? Not really. I mean, I called that thing a pterodactyl, but I don't think that's what it's supposed to be. Most of this stuff, let me see if I can find. These things are kind of like oxen, but they're called Ulfen, right? There's a lot of like big weird insect looking things. So like these guys are called Draka, and they're kind of, I don't even know exactly how to characterize them. They look menacing, but they're not. They're actually pretty docile. And you can, if you want to get into ranching, you can study these creatures, you can study them, figure out what kind of food they like, and you can tame them, and there's a whole thing of like setting up ranches and housing for animals and You can domesticate them. I've had enough on my plate to not want to worry about that shit. Here's a whole bunch of Ulfin sitting out in the field. There's these guys. He's gonna have some wild fruit. The glutch. And they all got things. We studied all these. Big bloated insect is a slow and peaceful herbivore. Not particularly dangerous, it secretes corrosive substance which accumulates on its skin and is released as a toxic cloud when the creature shakes its body in fear. Now, occasionally we get attacked and there will be like a feral version of these coming after you. But the whole premise is like nothing on here is supposed to be like what's on Earth, but certain things obviously are. Like these trees are, you know, big evergreen trees. It's pretty familiar. There's a lot of stuff is pretty familiar. But you still have to study, they have to study all this stuff first, just to be sure. But here's like grass fields for hay. And there's different trees. Before, I had planted all, what they call the big, it's the broadleaf trees. But these are deciduous. And then I found they stopped growing in the winter. But then I was like, as I was exploring further afield, I saw like, oh, there's a bunch of these over here, but they have to run like half a mile to chop them down. So that's why I started replacing these trees. Basically take the same amount of time to grow as these trees, except these grow all year long. So a little advantage of that. But all the different crops have their different, you know, survivability and different temperatures, climates, etc. I have it turned off now, but there's even you know, hydroponics, so you can grow stuff in the winter that it's not dependent on, well, what the weather's going on outside. Although these have problems too, because they take a lot of energy. It takes a lot of electricity to run these things, so probably gonna reserve them for later. What is all this shit? 100 unfinished veggie leather. I guess this is all... Oh, that's cloth. Okay. I could probably stand to build a little more storage in here. I was going to expand all of this. And this was supposed to be temporary, but now this shit's filling up too. This I was going to make like a multi-story storage warehouse to put all the shit in. Like this is where the ship first crashed right here. And so I set up a campfire, and this is originally the campfire was here and people were sleeping in here. Then I turned this into storage, but it's just sort of like far away from all their activities once I started building. Yeah, there's like a tardigrade crossed with a cold sore. Yeah, I guess it's an interesting way of putting it, James. So, all right, hold on. How's Samantha doing? Well, Samantha's actually in a good mood for once. What is she up to? She's crafting. How long till... You know what, Samantha? I like sending Samantha on balloon rides. There are expeditions that expire, and I forgot to check. I guess I missed it. Oh, no, this is it. Tachyon source. Expires in 4 days. Okay, I think we need to send her. Send... All right, so now Samantha, maybe she'll finish what she's doing first, then she'll go on the journey. But the ideal thing is you get them all set up with their tasks and their priorities, and they all kind of end up like your employees, like they run the place for you. Everyone... Like, you can get it set up a certain way where whatever needs doing, everyone kind of knows, like, what their priorities should be. It's very much like running a business in that sense, almost. And that was the last time anyone saw Samantha. There she's going on her expedition. She's gonna take the balloon! She always comes back from her expeditions pissed off. Where's she going? The expedition's outside in the balloon, Samantha. She had to bring food with her. Is that the deal? All right. I guess she's just bringing some food along. All right. That's fair. I'll allow it. Oh, so you can't see Jack from the top floor. All right. Just curious how that worked. All right. Let's see her off. I've never actually watched her leave on an expedition. Does the balloon... I imagine the balloon actually takes off and goes off into the sky. I've never watched it before. Yep. Off she goes. Now, does it just go straight up until you don't see her anymore? I think so. You can't really look up. So... All right, so no cross-country voyages in the balloon. It just goes up until you can't see it anymore. Jack reached cooking 8. Yeah. Now the thing that's upsetting about Jack is I don't know if his liver condition is going to continue to worsen over time. But I got a slight fear because he's an important member of the team. He's also like our most competent combatant. He wasn't the smartest till that alien thing happened to him. Now he's less healthy and he's got a 10 intellect. I should put research on his queue. Not that we're doing any right now. I think that tachyon thing that I sent Samantha on is going to help unlock more research. But right now... Oh, I need to produce carbon nanotubes in order to unlock... I haven't even been looking at this shit. I think I can produce carbon nanotubes. I just haven't yet. All right, let me see. Production. 3D printer. Oh, I don't have enough CPU cores. Don't I have it? All right, so... there's a little bottleneck here. We need to make CPU cores before I can make that thing. And our crafters are busy doing other shit. I can print a liver for Jack. I wonder if that could be a thing. In RimWorld, it gets to the whole point where you can eventually get advanced enough to create bionic organs, which you can do, limbs and organs, which you can do to replace health problems, like if people, the injury levels, the specificity of the injuries and conditions people in RimWorld can get are pretty crazy. But you could also just do bionics to enhance people, like give them bionic arms and they're stronger and all that shit. All right, so I did, now that I'm thinking about it, we were adapting to the whole freezers thing. So we're going to put that on. Who's got old equipment? I think he's going to... We've got a backlog of pants. So when his pants totally wear off, he's going to replace them automatically. We are getting close to winter. We should be making sure we've got warm clothes. So I'm going to change the priority. We're going to put jackets up at the top. Sweaters. Thermal pants. What do we don't have ingredients for thermal pants? Oh no, we do. Limit reached. Whatever. We'll put beanies too. People were getting that first winter, no one died, but people were getting hypothermia left and right. Winter is no joke. And right now you see the colors are changing. It's still nice. The crops are still growing. But you can see here it's getting towards like the last third of fall. And it's going to start getting cold. The crops are going to start dying. In fact, are there any wild crops I should be thinking about harvesting? Yeah, these can be harvested. We're gonna order... Oops, no, hold on. Harvest. Here, you guys, come get all that shit. We want to try to get as much vegetables, fruit and vegetables as we can for flipping Samantha, so she doesn't lose her shit when we only have meat, because that's all that's available. If you're gonna get stranded on an alien planet, don't be a vegetarian. That's the moral of the story. All right, I think that's most of what we got there. All right. Jack, what the hell were you doing? Oh, he was fixing the wind turbine. Okay. It's like, what was he doing over there? I'm starting to think these spears are not that big a deal, right? Okay, I think that's the last one. But you guys gonna have to start prioritizing, well, oh, wait, tailoring is its own thing, though, isn't it? So they're not competing. Crafting. Grayson is our main tailor, but we also have Grayson as our main farmer, so he's always doing that shit, harvesting and shit. So that's why he's not working on tailoring. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh, Grayson he's a crafter and a tailor. Cargo pod? A cargo plane made a crash landing in close vicinity. If left as it is, anything salvageable will perish in the following days. So this is another thing you can send someone out of the balloon to go get. It unlocks the cargo pod expedition. But right now, something's happened with Samantha's expedition. I found an ancient teaching device. It has CPU to brain interface that writes knowledge directly in the subconscious. The subroutine seems made for military personnel. The system seems operational, but its power source has enough charge for a single operation. What should I do? Oh god, can I look at her stats? What can she use? Okay, physical, not great. Healing, she's already reasonably good at combat. All I know is the last time I was posting something like this, it put Jack up to 10, but that was an extreme example. It like hurt his health too. This might not be quite as extreme. I would say, you know what? She's actually interested in construction, which means she learns it more quickly. She's been working on crafting though too. I guess tailoring and crafting is the same. Okay, I'm gonna give her. Oh, that's not an option. It's combat, healing, or physical. Combat. I was like, I could change anything. It's combat, healing, or physical. I think we've got 2 doctors already. I think just generally physical is a good. That's all the stuff that you're doing involves hauling shit around, and that's where physical comes in. So I wanted. Let's see what is Talos? Talos' healing is 4. And Vanessa's healing is 7. So I think now we're good on healing. We don't need another healing specialist. So let's do learn physical. Learn how to make the... Is that like when you get the genie out of the bottle and you wish for more wishes, James? The alien device is like, that is a cheater decision. All right, Vanessa? Okay. Handle the furnace, but y'all need to stop obsessing over the furnace. Wait, does she craft? Crafting, construction. I want to see what skill. Furniture and devices. So construction is the governing skill. All right, I think we need Jack to work on this. Talos too. What's Talos doing? Jack, Talos, and Grayson are the 3 constructor dudes. Where's Talos? Where is he? Oh, he's harvesting. All right, no, we'll leave him alone. Jack is cooking. when at the moment we have plenty of meals to eat. Stop cooking. Here, Jack. Build this thing. We need to ensure that our food doesn't go rotten when the winter hits. And then we'll transfer all of this stuff into here. Let's see. Let's we're just gonna copy the restrictions. Lost harvest 280. Oh no. And here we're gonna paste the restrictions. And then here we're going to say keep empty. And Jack. Oh, I guess everyone, it's time for them to eat. But that's a freezer. And that's a fridge. Yeah, we definitely. And the thing is they will not, when you tell them to not empty stuff, it seems like no one really jumps on emptying the thing. They just stop putting stuff in it. All right, Jack's gonna have. All right, I'm gonna leave them alone. It's tempting to be like, yeah, I'd keep doing the first snow of the year. I mean, it's charming. Now, one cool thing is they do build snowmen during the winter when it's like standing snow on the ground. It's one more recreational activity that they can do that they can't do the rest of the year. So it's kind of funny. The first time I looked around the home compound and noticed like snowmen popping up here and there. It's kind of neat. Appreciate the little details. All right, Vanessa is playing the didgeridoo. I think like that's one of her traits. Musical prodigy. She makes other people happy when she's playing music. So I'm kind of glad that she decided to do that. Look at her. Everyone's in a great mood. Did Jack's mood get better because he listened to Vanessa play music? Listen to Vanessa +9. Yeah. I mean, nobody's through the moon with joy, but at least in the moment, nobody's on the verge of a breakdown. Look at Grayson appreciating the hell out of this scarabée statue. I put this in here because before, when it was bare floors, Samantha was the only person in here. She was doing research all the time. And she started having breakdowns, and one of the things she was upset about is that it was ugly in here. So I was like, well, I didn't have the cloth to put carpet on the floor, which was one of her big complaints, was it was just like a bare floor. But I did have resources to build this insect statue, which they seem to love. Are you not to the moon with joy either, bro? I was talking about in-game, but are you? If I could do anything other than play baseball, that's not on the table. Is there something I could do to help you be over the moon with joy, Brad? All right, Vanessa's going. Time for people are going to start drifting off the bed. Grayson is going to be happy. Watch his little moodlet's going to go up when she lays down next to him. Hers won't. She didn't give a shit. It's like, oh, there's the old ball and chain. But he's like, oh, Vanessa. There it is. Oh, she got slept next to my love, too. Huh, all right. But then you look at how she feels about him, and it's -69. Well, maybe that's just some rough loving right there. -69. It sounds aggressive. You don't understand why baseball is off the table? Put it on the table. Well, we could say it's a very large table, and I'm just nowhere near the part of the table where the baseball is right now. It's an expansive table. Oh, wait, do these things... Oh, they're on control circuit 1. Okay, that's fine. And control circuit 2. So I have these set up. So this thermostat is active circuit 2. And it's set so that if the temperature gets below 68, everything that's hooked up to active circuit 2 will turn on. So that's how you regulate temperature without having the heaters running just on all the time when you don't need them. And also when it's hot, you don't want the heaters running. People get, they don't like it when it's too hot or too cold. It sounds like bullshit. You think the ridiculously large table metaphor is not pleasing? Not pleasing to you, Brad? I like that this time when you asked me to play baseball, you gave me options. Grain for vegetable oil, huh? How much grain do I have? Oh, wait. No, here's the food. That's not a whole lot of grain. There's a lot of vegetables, though. All right, maybe we'll make vegetable oil. Oh, we'll do some animal fats, too. Let's see. Vegetable oil. Wait, hold on. How does it... Each one of these comes up with 10 vegetable oils. We'll do it until... We'll say let's have 50 vegetable oils. I don't know how often vegetable oils gets used. And then we'll just have like a secondary when it's not making vegetable oil. We'll have it make animal fats. Wait, how many each animal fat? Oh. I can't tell how many. It probably makes 10 too. Oh, you have to use cloth each time. Let's keep a stock of 50. Ooh, hold on. No. 40, 50. No, okay, I think it's 50 each. I was thinking, wait, 50 times 10 is 500. We don't need that much. But I think it literally, once there are 50 bottles, they'll stop making it. That's probably going to open up more recipes. All right. I'm just waiting for Jack to stop having leisure time. Look at... Finally somebody's playing darts. Oh, look, Samantha's back. Yeah, she's not in a terrible mood either. All right, Jack, stop. Jack, we're going to make you in charge of getting the food. Store the undesired items. You like cooking, Jack? We're going to... Yeah, we're going to have you do some kitchen management right now. All right, just the classic. It would be very alarming if someone was doing this real life in the living room, a kitchen area. All right, and then we're gonna make another freezer and just have it store all the same shit. All right, hey Jack, don't go running off, brother. Look, do this. Deconstruct that damn fridge. This is all so that I know you really want to cook really bad right now, Jack. This is all in furtherance of you cooking. Don't worry. You're going to thank me later that I kept you from cooking for just a little while. All right. Hey, Jack. Guess what, buddy? Oh, resources unavailable? Uh-oh. What do I not have? 40 metal alloys. We got that. Am I out of electronics? No, I should have that. Maybe they're being spoken for in something else. Scrap metal? It needs 40 metal alloys and 2 electronics. I've got 5 electronics and 200 metal alloys. This should not be a problem. All right, we'll have Talus look into it in a second. Constructing freezer. All right, do it, Talus. You're on it. You are the man. All right. And what does it take for me to do? I got enough heaters that I probably don't need to worry a whole lot about the air conditioners. But the thing about air conditioners is they heat and cool. So you can have them like be the all-purpose solution. But they do take CPUs, and I have an extreme bottleneck on CPUs. At the moment, I have 1 CPU. So, Brad, are you... Is this everything you hoped it would be when you caused me to stream this game tonight? We are playing this. I was going to play Kingdoms of Amalur. Then, when I heard how not enthusiastic Brad was about that idea, I did say, this is the game that I've actually been playing this week. This is the game that I'm into this week. I didn't think people would want to watch me stream it. But it didn't take much encouragement to convince me to stream it. The only downside is I can't create survivors like of you guys. The survivors are pre-made. It was everything you hoped it would be, which was specifically just not Kingdoms of Amalur. All right. Is he just gonna walk away from this shit on the ground? All right, you know what? Sorry, Talus. Could you clean this shit up? This is bothering me. It says Samantha's gonna do it, but no, we'll let... Samantha's taking too long. All right, so we are going to copy the restrictions here and paste them here. So now we put all the same shit in here that we do in here. And at least for now, let's empty this so that all this shit's gonna be right next to Jack. Right now, it's all about optimizing Jack's cooking routine. Uh-oh, toxic ash, that's a problem. That causes everybody to have fucked up lungs. It's like an event, a world event that just happens for a while. You can make gas masks, but I haven't had the ingredients for it. I have to check and see if I've got the ingredients now. All right, Jack. First, we're gonna transfer all those goods out of there. Right? Respirator masks, not enough resources. That's the problem. Synthetic textiles and ores. How do I make the synthetic textiles? I think that's done here. Craft. Synthetic textiles take liquid fuel. Liquid fuel you make from grain. I think this might... I don't know if it, right as winter's kicking in is the greatest time to use a bunch of grain to make synthetic clothing. So we're just going to have to deal with the shitty air for a little while. And let's Get the grain out of there. Oh, Jack's gonna eat. We were running out of room in here. That's one of the reasons why I redid everything and I added a bunch of storage space. But we were running out of space for grain. Oh, did I already... Ooh, yeah, let's get the vegetables out of here, too. Hey, Jack. Uh-oh. Looks like Jack and Vanessa have had a negative interaction because Jack insisted on being much stronger than Vanessa. Let's see if that pissed her off. Was annoyed by Jack. Yeah. Barely dressed. Is she putting the pants on? Equipping pants. Okay, good. She's taking care of herself. Good for you, Vanessa. Good for you putting on new pants when your old pants rot off. All right, Jack. Since you were boastful, you get to empty the stuff out of here that's otherwise doesn't need to be here. All right. That's what's going to happen now, Jack. I hope it was worth it. Jack. It's going to make me do it, like, individually, isn't it? I wish I could just have him do the whole, Oh, good. Grayson's getting back to tailoring again. He's working on those jackets. All right. Good job, buddy. And Samantha's finally assembling those CPU cores. Silicone. And we didn't have silicone supply for the longest time. How much silicone do we have now? 345. Okay, so we got a good little... We've planted some silicone crops. But before, we were just finding them like just random plants out in the world. So... All right, who's Measure. I don't want to interrupt Samantha's all the crafting right now. Feels kind of essential, but we've also got this this expedition situation, this cargo pod. Shipping container. You know what? We'll send Jack. We got enough food, right? Wait, is Jack? Yeah, we'll send Jack. This expires in 3 days. Go get the cargo pod, Jack. Maybe you'll be able to escape the shitty air while you're at it. Oh, and he did transfer all the shit. Yeah, all right. I think I'm gonna start... Should I start emptying some of this shit? I think I will, and if things start filling up in our main storage area, then I'll maybe reallocate some stuff, but I kind of don't want them to have to be using the storage over here. Insufficient storage space. Oh, whoops. Okay. Alright, so apparently we do need some of this storage space. So does that mean I should maybe make a second floor that's just focused on shelving? I don't know if I've got enough wood to make a second floor, though. I don't want to expend all of my wood resources when it seems like it might be a while before I have fully mature trees. Oh, as I speak of the devil, as I say it, there are some trees coming mature right now. We'll wait till Jack comes back from his expedition. Maybe not the best idea to begin a massive new building project right at the onset of winter while you're sending one of your guys out in a hot air balloon to go have adventures. And so just so you know, I can speed this game up if you're specifically waiting for something, but I feel like, especially while I'm streaming, the pace of like me keeping track of everything is much better if I keep it at this slow pace. No research queued. Yeah, can I research anything now? Oh, fuel mixing. Wait, so now this means what? I can turn vegetable oil or animal fats into liquid fuel. All right, sure. So, but yeah, the same way we have a thermostat. We also have, what are these guys tied into? I have this little doohickey here. It's a day-night sensor. And it's on active circuit 3. So when nighttime happens, everything connected to circuit 3 turns on. And so that's where I have all of these lights connected to circuit 3. And then I've got this motion sensor here. Does sort of the same thing. Everything connected to this motion sensor remains off unless hostiles enter the motion sensor's radius of detection. If that occurs, then everything on active circuit 10 turns on. In this case, there's the spotlight, which helps you aim at stuff coming towards your base, and the auto turret, which I have a bunch of traps to snare things as they're coming in the front gate. The auto turret shoots them. Doesn't always work as great as it sounds, but you know. And that's one thing about this game. And RimWorld is sort of the same way, where you always want to keep one gateway open, because if there is, that's where the ground invaders are going to come at you. If you do not have a gate open, they're just going to randomly start attacking your walls till they get in. Like willy-nilly, wherever they go. So in order to be able to plan a good defense, I've got these towers where our best marksmen can hang out in these towers and shoot the stuff as they approach. And then if they get, as they almost always do when they swarm us, they get far enough here, they'll hit the traps. We'll have all of our survivors sitting back here with their... most of them got guns now. Vanessa still has a crossbow, but... Alright, I think it's fair to... Wait, I should think about what I want them to do tomorrow. I think I have still a huge bottleneck on CPUs. Okay. So I'll go on fast mode till they wake up and start doing shit. There's that toxic ash. The thing is, if they stay inside, they're good. Oh, you know what? We need to close these windows. Close. Close. It's that time of year. Now, the ash, I don't think is a problem with the windows. But the temperature is. If it's 22 degrees outside, you're going to make their inside experience very negative if you're just letting all that air in. Close. And then over here. Close. Close. Oh, I could have selected all of them. That's okay. Next time I got to remember that. I could have just double clicked and selected all the windows on the property. And then somebody will get around to I think that's considered like a physical the same work group as like hauling stuff around. There it is. Talus is handling the large windows. This used to be Samantha's room until we got her. I discovered that these slightly larger rooms also made them a lot happier. So Samantha would get like a +3 for sleeping in this room. It was considered a small bedroom. Let's see if it says what she's got for slept in a private bedroom. She got +9 because I gave her a slightly bigger room. Probably if I went absolutely crazy, I don't know, maybe if I set up where each person had their own cabin, maybe they'd be even happier. Not just a private room, but a full private residence. I don't know. We'll see. Someday I might do that. So it just made more sense to have it all be like, this is the common, like, basically dorm for everybody. Everyone gets their own room. The medicine is up here so that, because whenever someone gets injured where they need medical treatment, they will go to their bed. So having the medicine by the bedrooms made sense. Before, the doctor would be like traipsing all the way back here to get some medicine. $1.4K wood, huh? Oh, we're cutting trees. Okay, you know what? I think it might be safe to add an extra layer of construction here. Research fuel mixing. Okay. I think if I just say room and we'll do wood. Oh, come on. You ruined it right when I was in the middle of doing the thing. Okay, Jack at the crash site. I found crates bearing the name of the spaceship that I was on. Most were badly damaged, but I salvaged some emergency rations. Alright, that's good. Food that just doesn't go bad is good, but we're in a good spot right at the moment with our freezers. Alright, now that got ruined. Let's go back. Let's pause it while I'm doing this. Yeah, we'll pause it while I'm doing this so that nothing can interrupt. Will they let me place stairs yet? I might need, because there's still a roof up there, they might not let me do it. I'm just concerned they may not let me do this at all. I don't think they'll let me do it because there's a roof up there. But can they get up there? Am I going to have to build a temporary stairs? I think I might need to do that. Constructing roof. Okay, how does he do it? Hey, if he can just do it. Once the roof's deconstructed, I can have him build stairs. Jack is ill. He's got blood poisoning. Oh, caused by prolonged breathing of toxic ash. I guess sending him in the balloon did not help him avoid the ash problem. All right. I don't think can they be treated? Shortness of breath. A side effect of breathing slightly toxic ash. Long exposure can lead to blood poisoning. I don't think they can actually get treatment for that. I think they... Basically... I just need to make respirator masks. Which I don't have ores, and I also don't have synthetic textiles. Do I? Yeah, I have no synthetic textiles. And I have no ores. Oh, aggressive animals. So this is how animal attacks happen at certain intervals. Feels like it's been a while. The following animals have noticed... Let's pause this. They've noticed the camp and are preparing to attack in several hours. So it's these little, these scissor hand hatchling asshole little ant creatures. Sometimes it's a mix of creatures, but it looks like it's all them. And look at them, Brad. They're going after the poor orphan. You still rooting for them, Brad? These little insects? They're meanies, Brad. Hopefully, Jack will be back home. Wait for treatment. When is his expedition going to end? It's a 9-hour thing. Assign to Jack. Oh. Oh, these. I was like, hey, look at all this stuff I could have harvested. Way the fuck out in the middle of the boondocks. Nope, too far. Moderate pain. They're all suffering a bit. Now would be a great time for them to do a bunch of indoor activities. All right. Well, I've given them plenty to do, so I don't think, managerially speaking. Oh, look! They set up. They use ladders to get up there all by themselves. I didn't notice. I didn't know how they would deal with constructing to the second floor. All right. So now I think we can. Now I think we can put some steps in there. Steps. Wood. Oh yeah, that's got to be right there, doesn't it? All right, the animal attack's happening. All right, let's pause. So I guess we're not going to get Jack. Jack is our main guy. We're not getting Jack during the attack. All right, everybody come over here. Who's the next most hunty person? Jack, Samantha, Vanessa, and Talus. All right, we'll have Talus up in the tower. Samantha will put on the corner tower, and Talus will put on this tower. Is your heart pounding, Brad? You're still rooting for the insects, aren't you? Listen to this action-packed music. Risk of meltdown, Jack. Uh-oh. Oh, I hope he's not. Is he just getting home now? Oh, what timing, Jack? All right, you know what, Jack? Where are you doing? Where are you going? How bad a shape is Jack in? I think Jack's in good enough shape. I know he needs medical treatment, but he's in good enough shape to shoot some critters. Let's see, where are they at right now? I think we got time to sub out Talus. All right, Talus, get out of there. Pop us home. Pop us home, Talus. Towers are for the big boys. Get out of there. Jack, you're in, buddy. And Jack's also the only person with a pulse rifle, which hurts bad guys and slows them down. Like, stuns them. So. They'll be coming from over here. Probably slaughtering all the peaceful creatures along the way. Here they come. I could probably use another spotlight. Alright. Yeah, that's a good angle to be attacking these guys with a shotgun thing. They do not seem to be, they seem to be able to get around my traps somewhat easily. Some of them, anyways. Uh-oh. We're down to hand. Oh, come on. Don't tell me that. Some thing popped up saying, would you like to update the software? It's the software I use to download YouTube videos. Ooh, are people getting injured from the fighting? Superficial cuts. Okay, you're gonna be fine, Grayson. You're gonna be fine. There's still 2 more of them. Where are they? I don't find updating software during streams and while I'm streaming it to be a very good use of my computer's resources. All right, everybody is... The fighting's over. So now everyone who needs treatment can go await treatment. And let's get that butcher order going on all these critters. Boom. So when the time is right, we're gonna have some yum yummo. You would like to see the it's not that I don't think you'd love to watch the content, Brad. It's just that installing and uninstalling software while your computer's already running a game and streaming, you know, it could make everything. It's like, you know, if you try to do too many things at once, haste makes waste. It could make everything less enjoyable. Unless you're like, you wanted me to stop playing the game and stop playing everything, and then I just like update the thing. You really enjoy a status bar. Okay, well look at there's the status bar from eating. There's so many status bars in this game, Brad. All right, and Vanessa, why wasn't she the one to treat her husband? Alright, good deal. Make one of them go up and down the stairs over and over? I'd have to carpet this room. They'd get depressed. This is what the floors look like before you do anything to them. Honestly, I think the wood flooring is charming. But they hate it. They hate it. So any place that they're going to spend any appreciable amount of time, I put carpet down. You do other floor coverings. Just carpet was what we had the most. I guess wood I could do, but how are we doing on cloth? We have 3,000 cloth. I'm starting to think we can maybe ease down on the cloth production. I should figure out something else to put in here aside from cloth. Or it's because I built this massive field of cloth over here. That's why we have so much cloth. And I think one might argue... Oh, now they're dying, though. One might argue too much cloth. We could convert all the crops that are dying for the winter to evergreen trees. Although I think it takes them like well into the later seasons past winter to grow all the way, so maybe not. All right. Almost dawn. The auto lights are going to turn off. All these little details please me. There it goes. It's officially daytime. All right. Why does Jack have a risk of meltdown right now? Moderate pain and anxious. All right. Stressed out. It's dark. Where the hell is he? Where are you, Jack? Where is it dark? Oh, just walking around outside? Oh, good. He's loving the shit out of that statue. Nervous breakdown? Go away. Risk of meltdown, that is. Malfunction heater? We'll get to it. Alright, he's still apparent. We'll see if that status goes away. Yeah, it should be going up now. This scarab statue really turns those frowns upside down, you know? They love it. Alright, and also, he loves his own cooking. We're gonna have to let him actually cook, though. Where are all the meals? Raw food, cooked meals, unfinished food, yes. But it says we've got... Oh, the emergency rations. Oh, no, he needs to do some cooking. I think I've been... yeah, I just had him go on an expedition. That's why we're so low on all this shit. All right, how are we doing on power management? Oh, we produce... Okay, I think we can get away with using the hydroponics. Yeah, I think we're gonna keep doing grain cob. Change crop, grain cob. Just get some food production going and turn this shit on. Turn on. Hopefully having a few extra grain crops will help as the winter wears on and the supplies dwindle from the harvest, from the fall harvest. It'll help Samantha from starving to death because she's the picky eater. Even my wife Amanda, she's vegan. She would eat meat if she crash landed on an alien planet and that's all we had. You know? Yep, so we're officially that time of year. All the crops are dead. Or maybe we harvested them and just didn't regrow them. What do these things do? Oh, they'll just stop growing at 32 degrees, but they won't die. Okay. So these guys, they're right at a temperature where they're going to stop growing. But then as long as nothing else kills them, they should be good back like when the spring hits. I actually think I am going to convert these to evergreens. Evergreen, blade grass, broadleaf, silicone. Yeah, let's do big evergreen trees. That'll keep good old Jack busy for a while. And good old Samantha. You know, when all she did was research, I thought she was kind of a snob. Because all she did was, like, get pissed off. But now that she's, whoa, hey, bird. Now that she can't do research, she actually pulls her weight, you know? Well, the research is important. We're just at a bottleneck now until we can get some CPUs built. I should stop loading people down with special projects so they can get the shit done that they need to get done. But all this stuff's important. You kill a bunch of insects right as winter's about to start. That's the food that's gonna keep everybody except Samantha fed. What's that bird? What are you guys doing? I think these are carrion birds. I've tried to observe them a few times, but they always fly away. Oh yeah, look at all these trees that are ready for harvest now. I had a bunch of trees over here too, but then I realized that Jack's shotgun thing that he uses to stun the animals, like an area attack, it was killing the shit out of the trees too. And also I think making it hard for him to see the animals. So I decided trees needed to, we need to keep this area clear. This is where we do all of our fighting. And I think I've turned off restrictions. I've turned it off so that nobody's eating the emergency rations. Ration, I always stumble over that word because when I was a kid and I first played Dungeons and Dragons, I called them rations. And that's like when I was like 8 or 10 years old, because I didn't know how to say it. And that's an example of one of those words that I still stumble over. I know that you pronounce it rations, but my 10-year-old self got really into calling them rations, and it's some part of my brain never been able to move past it. Rations. You gotta ration it. Okay. Emergency rations. These birds. I see you, bird. I see what you're doing. I see you too, bird. But I know if I try and study you, you're gonna fly away. I should put more traps down over here. Because what they do is they always go by the traps and then they go after whoever's up here. At least like a little more traps. I don't know. I call it granary. But it's probably granary or granary. I don't know. I've always called it a granary. Because I think of like grains. So granary. Is it granary? The fact is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's pronounced heel. So, alright, well, hey, at least it's an example of one word that I say wrong that I'm not the only one that says it wrong. Because usually when I say something stupid, all you'll say is, hey, say that word again and pronounce it the way you just pronounced it. That's my clue that I'm saying something in a funky way. I think usually Nick will tell me how to say it. There he is. Wait, Gray-nary? Or was I saying it right? Oh, you also pronounce it granary? I see you, bird. You're acting very hostile. I think it's upset that we're taking all the dead meat. Is he gonna make his move? He's gonna make his move on the dead meat. I'm pretty sure these birds are here because of this meat, but they're hanging back because I've got Samantha here is tending to the meat. This is coming along nicely. They got it, like, there's still quite a bit to do, but... Tell us, discuss the abundance of food with Jack. Oh, I wonder if that cheered Jack up. He was delighted by Talus. All right, so good. He's like, we have a lot in common. Good, does that mean for a minute he likes Talus again? No, still doesn't like him. They were getting along for a while. Wonder if there are ways to make them like each other better. Like, are there more musical instruments that I can make? Nope, those are the only two. I don't think I've made any punching tools. But that doesn't need to be in here. That's not social. Here, but I'll do one of those next to the old workout bench. It's like in Rocky. Rocky goes out in the snow and trains, you know? I could probably put a couple more, hey, look, someone's building a snowman. Let's build a snowman. There. And then we'll move this one. Maybe people will not shoot from the kitchen so often. Ivan Drago was a real problem. Rocky only goes out the snow and trains when he's stuck in the Soviet Union. Okay. That was it. One of the Creed movies where Ivan is Ivan and his son are the villain. Do you watch those Creed movies? I've seen the first two. I haven't seen the third one. I think when I found out Rocky wasn't in the third one, I lost interest. I liked Creed because it was basically just like more Rocky movies. Not because I liked the Creed character. I don't hate him, but it's kind of to me, not a likable guy. Kind of a pompous, you know. Disagreeable, cocky, unpleasant. Oh, you do like the guy. I don't hate him, but it's just like his character just seems like I'm not like, yeah, oh, I'm rooting for this guy. I'm like, dude, he's kind of like an asshole. But Nick, you haven't seen any of the Rocky movies? I liked Rocky when I was a kid a whole lot. I keep meaning to watch all of them again. I haven't watched the actual original Rocky movies in a long time. And they're often, all of them are available on streaming. But they're good. I think they're good movies to watch once. But also, I don't know, it could be I liked it when I was a kid, but if you weren't around to enjoy them then, like now they're too dated to enjoy. Rocky 1 is a bit more serious, but I loved the other Rockies as a kid. I still thought they were good and fun to watch. And actually, as a kid, I thought Rocky 1 seemed boring. I think as an adult, I probably would find Rocky 1, the original Rocky, to be like a good movie, and the other ones to be like they didn't age well and they're corny. Yeah, they're good. They're classic, and you know it's you know the fighting is part of it, but you know all those movies too are sort of just about like character and overcoming and you know. Uh-oh. Did you just say Shawshank is deeply mid? I know, Brad. I won't go so far as to say that I don't know if we can be friends anymore, but that's a real hot take. That's all I can say. It's a real hot take. I think Shawshank Redemption's like one of my favorite movies of all time. You're actually the first person I've met that has had like been extremely hostile towards Shawshank. How did Shawshank come up anyways? Oh yeah, here we go. Nick brought it up. Similar to putting it off because you didn't watch Shawshank for the longest time. Oh right. Wait, didn't you guys do Nick didn't you do Shawshank Unseen by Few? I think I watched that. And that was the hot take too, is like there's a lot of movies that you know I really like, or you'll see. I was surprised you guys were both so into Stir of Echoes. That was a movie that like you guys both put that up like that's one of your favorite movies of all time. I remember when I worked at a video store when it came out, and I watched it and I felt like it was, I didn't hate it, but it was like forgettable. And then I never watched it again. But now you're making me think, like, based on how enthusiastic you were about it, I should rewatch it. Maybe I just didn't get it. Because I also wasn't a huge horror fan when I watched it. And it was also kind of a weird horror compared... It wasn't like, you know, Freddy Krueger. It was like they're doing a weird thing. Dune. Especially Dune. Yeah, I had a hard time with the original. I still haven't watched the new Dune. It's on my list. I've tried to read Dune several times. I tried to read it again most recently a couple years ago. When I was still commuting. I was listening to I had the book and I was listening to the audiobook. But yeah, half a movie. Has there been any word if they're gonna finish it? Because I think it was one of those things where it's not like they were funded to make both of them. They were gonna make the first one and just sort of play it by ear about whether they're gonna finish it. They said their focus was to follow the books, and then they didn't. I can't really assess that because I have not read the books or watched the movie. Wow, we're still butchering these insects? She's made a whole profession out of this. Alright, be glad when all the insects have been butchered up and stored. Alright, let's turn this thing back on. The freezer? It is back on, right? Restrictions. Keep empty. Okay, now they can start delivering stuff into this freezer. And I'm considering getting a second freezer over here. Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, I feel like we got plenty of storage space. Don't read the books, just the one book. Just pretend that everything after Dune was never written, and you'll be much happier. The series rapidly starts to crawl up its own ass. That's unfortunate. Well, I'll be lucky if I ever get through the first book. I think this last time I did it, I actually got like 200 or 300 pages into it. That's the furthest I've ever gotten. And then I was just at a point where I was like, yeah, on a certain level, I can appreciate that there are interesting things happening. But I didn't have this burning desire to see where it all went. All right, let's do a similar thing up here. Oh, delivery drone. Of course, I need CPUs. That'd be cool if that ends up they do all your hauling and shit for you. Let's see how that works when we get to it. We still got a lot of wood. So let's do a similar thing here. Storage. Wood shelves. No. Storage, wood shelves. I need to select the wooden shelves. There we go. And then we'll do some wood shelves along the back wall here. And then we'll do some stockpiles in the middle. So it'll be like a mirror of what's downstairs. And then once this is all done, we'll start emptying out this other shit. It's like maybe I should keep another wall open for stairs, more stairs. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I may never need a third story. This massive like U-Haul complex. Stockpile. Uh-oh. Our sensors are reacting to repeating bursts of tachyon radiation. Through some effort in pinpointing, it has become possible to locate the source. Okay, so there's another tachyon source expedition. Those, I think, are good. I think they let your characters, like, actually change their attributes. That's where those opportunities can come up, it seems like. Alright, but I lost my my stockpile thing. Here we go. Boom. Storage. More stockpile. Highlander 2: The Quickening. There's a movie I don't remember if I liked it when it was new. I want to say I did. Highlander I liked. I think I liked Highlander 2: The Quickening as well. And beyond that, I wasn't into it. I was never really into the show either. I like to just watch Anaconda. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Amusing Garbage. That sounds about right. Was that on my list of one of... Was that for Prime Party watching? Event Horizon is one that I just can't get into. And over the years, I've come back to it thinking like, I should like this movie. Maybe I'll like this movie now. And then I'll watch it thinking like, I think I might like this, and then I can't even put my finger on it, but just by the time it ends, I'm just like, I didn't like it. I know we brought up Anaconda during Hawktober. I remember you brought it up, and I was like, that could be a thing, but I couldn't remember if that was actually an option or not. That's the thing. So you think, Brad, do you think Event Horizon is better than Shawshank Redemption? I know they're totally different movies, but yeah, just saying where you're saying nice things about Event Horizon after you totally panned Shawshank Redemption. You actually do? I mean, that's okay. It just goes to show, though, like, I look at Event Horizon as a movie. I don't hate Event Horizon, but I just watch it, and by the time it's finished, I'm just like, eh. All right, let's speed things up. Who's got the old equipment? Oh, that sweater's about to go. How are we doing on our clothing supply? We may need to create another storage container for clothing. Here, let's copy this one. I don't think we're gonna end up with more weapons than we have storage space. We'll make this a secondary place for clothing. I don't think the clothing does not deteriorate in these shelves. I don't think. I think these shelves are considered under roof if you put them in there. Tools, medicines. I think we can put emergency rations on these shelves. Raw food. Okay, yeah, grain, yeah. We want this to be grain overflow, because sometimes we end up with a lot of grain. Tools, medicine, weapon, apparel, crafting materials. I just know when I told them to empty those other shelves, cooked meal. Okay, I think maybe it was the maybe the emergency rations is what they didn't have room for. Marked for emptying. Marked for emptying. Marked for emptying. These are already marked for emptying. So what I kind of envision is this area becoming more of like our... Well, it's already sort of started becoming this, but becoming sort of like our power center. And this stuff doesn't need to be on our roof or anything, does it? No, integrity doesn't seem to be going down. So we are actually consuming more energy than we're producing at night without the solar panels. But I don't think it's consuming enough to burn through 4,000 whatever these things are. Electricity, amps, units, ohms, I don't know. What would the storage inside of a battery be called? Uh-oh. It's like Grayson's got a hangover. Malfunctioning wind turbine. Nah, they'll take care of it. Sweaters, or we're gonna run out of sweaters. There are 2 jackets. One thing I don't know. Let's see. Who's got the sweater problem? The jackets replace shirt, jacket. Okay, jackets replace this thing up here. Grayson, what? Did I accidentally tell him to take his damn shirt off? Sorry, Grayson. No, dude. Okay. Light jacket. Yeah, put on the vest. Why not? You put on a jacket too. Is she pissed off because of it? She's okay. No. There was a certain point where her shirt got so bad it disintegrated on her body. And we didn't have any extra shirts because we didn't have cloth back then. And I think that was the source of one of her meltdowns. She's like researching at her research desk with no shirt on, pissed off that we don't have shirts. Had a little minor meltdown over it. Yeah, yes, and now you've taken your shirt off. Should I put it back on? Yeah, that's right. All right, I'll wear a jacket. I just wasn't sure which slot that went into. Dirtiness. I didn't even notice dirtiness before. It doesn't seem to be a problem. Nobody's clothes are dirty. But does that mean we're going to need washing machines? I didn't even notice that that was a stat on the clothing till right now. Oops, I accidentally hit my mute button. So, well, I think maybe... Alright, hold on. Stop. keep empty. Restrictions. All right, now we've got to do some shit. Okay, how do we have the restrictions down here? We basically keep all this for like heavy construction materials. So I'm gonna copy those. That's fine. Paste the restrictions. Paste the restrictions. And we'll come down here. Copy the restrictions. Paste the restrictions. Okay. Now I think we can safely tell them, like, you just can empty that shit out. All of our storage, this is going to be our tower of storage. Then we're going to double the size of this building. Maybe, it just feels a little crowded in here. And we have more storage in here for crafting specific goods. Oh, only 4 storage slots. These boxes don't carry a whole lot of shit. Well, I guess the big shelves only had 9 anyways. This is better than nothing. Alright, you know what? You guys, why are you still making spears? I guess people keep using them? Okay, finish the damn spear. Let's see, can I deprioritize this over other things? I guess I can in their let's see. If we have Talus, okay, let's have him. Let's bump up tailoring over crafting. Why don't we do that? And if there's still observing to do, we'll have him do that first. And if Samantha crafts, she'll still craft first. But we really need someone to start working on getting those clothes done. Oh, I guess these are both crafting. Alright, so that was a problem. They go to this first. You think they need bone meal? So much room for activities. This is the part where they all work together in a room and piss thing. Okay, he fought with Talus over modern architecture. Great. I'll bet that pissed him off. Was angered by Grayson over modern architecture. Was Grayson also pissed off? Yes. Yes, he was. Can you guys learn to have conversations that don't piss each other off? If you're gonna get in a fight about something, why is it gonna be about architecture? Weird. Guys. It is obvious that they need bone meal. Speaking of meals, where's Jack? Oh, he's taking some time off. All right. I think now that we've got full fridges, it's time to increase. And chef's steak. Tea, coffee, fruit cake. Okay, we're good. I guess we're running out of grain. Grain gets used for so many things is the problem. And I think this means... Alright. I think we got enough meat and other bullshit that we can start restricting... Let's see... We're gonna start restricting other people from the vegetarian meals. Are they gonna get pissed because they don't have variety? We'll see. If they start getting pissed off about variety, then we'll give them back. Wait, grain porridge is his favorite meal. Okay, forget that. We're gonna keep that on him. Quick meals. She can keep eating the vegetables. She's the one that's gonna flip out. The last time she flipped out, she got violent and she wrecked shit too, so. Grain porridge. Alright, let's take everybody else off of the vegetarian meals. Those will be Samantha's. Samantha gets the vegetarian meals. Although if they have like pies and stuff with fruit, I think it's still fair game. They can still eat the fruitcake or the buttermelon pies. No, it was grain porridge, Brad. Grain porridge. See any other exciting recipes? Oh, meat stew. Oh my gosh, this is where the oils and fats come in. All right. We'll add that. Boom. Meat stew. Yes, please. What else? We'll lay off the veggie stew. Just flat out bread, huh? Sure, if we have an abundance of food, we'll put bread in stock. That's chef's recipes. Chef's steak, fruit cake, fruits flambe. Yeah, we'll keep all this shit at the bottom of the list. I think we are going to need to create another freezer for food now, though. I'm getting a little carried away. But if I can store all the food, then why not? Why not say if we have all the ingredients to where when we've satisfied all the other needs, we can still make all this other shit, then why not? Let's see. What was the last thing I did? Fruits flambe. So we do sweet meat bites. Let's see, can we? All right, we do have some electronics. Still nobody's been working on this shit. They're already storing stuff up here? Night goggles. All right, you guys. You say so. Let's see. Who should we give? I think could we give, night goggles? Yeah. Our two big gun people will give the night goggles to. Does that mean they're going to wear night goggles all the time? Is she just walking around like a weirdo? No, it doesn't show up on her face. That's as disappointing as Shawshank Redemption. Oh, Brad. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Keep empty. I would, as a matter of just like housekeeping, like to get all this shit out of here, but at the same time, like, we don't have enough hands to do the shit that already needs doing. So I should not create low priority work when we don't have enough hands to do the high priority work. The tailoring is high priority. We got a couple more jackets. Who doesn't have jackets already? Here. You get a... It's a light jacket. He ends up outside a lot, though. What else is going on here? It looks like we've got ingredients to make all the stuff that we want to make. It's just a matter of people devoting enough time to it. And me not trying to make them have a million different projects at once. I may have overdone it with the trees, too. Because it seems like they're always cutting trees, but... You can get an idea for a building project that will quickly burn through a shit ton of wood. So that's why I'm kind of like... I'm still gonna... Because they're gonna... Every time these things are like in farm plots, not out in the wild. If they chop a tree down out here, that's it. It's done. They get the wood, that's it. But when you have designated like farming tree plots, they'll automatically replant, harvest and replant over and over for as long as you keep it active. At a certain point, I'll probably want to turn off the harvest function and just have those trees waiting on standby when I feel like we've got enough wood. Or start planting other stuff there if we need other stuff. Like, I think we could do with some more grain, to be honest. Could expand the walls out to here and put some grains in here. Nope, I don't want to put crops here, because Jack will just destroy them with his pulse rifle while he's defending the base. So, not falling for that old song and dance. All right, you know what? Let's put the the almost infinite veggie leather on pause. Also, this. Oh, maybe shoot 5 smoke leaf pipes could be gotten through. Look what she did. She bored Talus with small talk. Let's guess that Talus is now in a bad mood. Was annoyed by Samantha. Was she upset by this? No, she has no idea. She has no idea that she's annoying. She's just telling him shit, and he's like, God damn it, Samantha. Oh yeah, wow, really? That's really interesting. She's like, yeah, and then my sister came in the room. She was like, look what I found outside. Talus like, oh, fuck. Oh, wow, really? Shit. Okay, that's... A lizard. Oh, all right. God damn it. Samantha, no one cares. Yeah, a lizard, huh? All right, it's time for Jack to go appreciate the statue. I could probably put that statue in here where everybody can see it all the time. But I think maybe we like having all this open space, though. Will having this giant statue in here ruin the flow? I honestly think this is probably something supposed to go outside, not be in the middle of a room. Let's see. Nope. I was like, I got enough stone. I could make a giant statue. I'm like, no, wasn't I just complaining that we don't have enough people to make the shit that I want them to make? Yeah, look how they love that statue. He's like just standing in front of it, just cheering it on. Yay, statue! Woohoo! Oh no, okay. Was the sister catching a lizard? I didn't even flat out said it. I just, you know, danced around it so you could put the pieces together. That's what happened. The third cousin in proximity of a reptile. Is that how annoying you have to be in order to trigger a -9 experience with Talus? Handling furnace? What's Vanessa up to? What are you doing, Vanessa? Oh, going to bed. Okay. No, Matus. That is a big missed opportunity for this game. And you can't even find a mod to do it. I was saying this earlier, that like in RimWorld, by default, you can't change the names anytime you want, but you can mod it to be able to do that. The game, in-game, has the ability to customize people. This has a bunch of, everyone is specifically pre-created personalities with traits and relationships and everything else. And that is one thing that will be the same every game. It's the same roster of about 20, 25 survivors, and you can only select 4 to begin with. But that roster of 20 that you can choose from, or 25, however many it is, that is set. Now, there are mods where people have created additional custom survivors can be added to that list that you can choose from. And what they've said is if you know how to actually create mods, or there's a mod editor, you can download other people's additional mod characters and use a mod editor to customize them, which I actually did download one and see what the mod editor looked like, and it was utterly inscrutable. It was not intuitive at all. So I had no idea how to start, and I did not have enough interest to educate myself on how to. That's not how to use mods. That's how essentially to make mods. Which is unfortunate, because it seems like this you'd very easily be able to, like, the game engine could support you creating customized characters, but it doesn't. And maybe it's one of those things someday it will. I don't know, but I know it doesn't now, and there are nobody's created a mod, and I don't know if it's possible to create a mod that will allow you to customize characters inside the game engine. All that shit has to be done outside the game engine at the moment. Hey, Mike, you wish there were ways to trigger raids while in a peaceful scenario? Well, wait, isn't the whole point of a peaceful scenario that you won't have raids? Like, wouldn't the solution just be not to play on peaceful? This is my first game of this, so I haven't experienced anything other than the sort of the super standard game type and difficulty. You want time to build up for a while before you trigger raids. Okay. So, what you would like is more ways to customize the difficulty. Like some games will do that. I want to say, does RimWorld do that? Where you can get down to like customize point by point. I know a game like Project Zomboid is a good example of this. Where when you're setting up a game of Project Zomboid, you can change the parameters of just about anything. You can make the zombies faster or slower. You can make them change their respawn rate, how many there are, how much they respawn, whether they respawn at all. And this game, I think it just says like, yeah, it's peaceful mode or normal mode, right? But yeah, I love Project Zomboid too. About once or twice a year, I'll go through a phase where I get obsessed with Project Zomboid and play it. Like, for me, getting obsessed with a game is me playing it for maybe a month. I tend not to play, like, pick a game and play it forever and ever. I'll usually play a game for a couple of weeks, and then I kind of move on to the next thing. So, Mike, I think you're the only person that's in here, that's been in here tonight, that's actually played this game. If you have, in fact, played Stranded. I just picked it up on the sale recently, so I'm relatively new to it, but... and I am a big fan of RimWorld. I actually am, but this feels different enough to play from RimWorld that I'm enjoying letting this scratch that itch for me instead. It definitely doesn't feel like I'm just playing RimWorld again. Sort of very similar themes, very similar premise, a lot of similar gameplay elements. Hey, Brad, you love Project Zomboid when I don't play it. And that's very specific, that you do actually like watching other people play Project Zomboid. It's just that the particular manner in which I play Project Zomboid, which is super cautious, slow, spends a lot of time doing inventory management. It's my play style that you don't like, right, Brad? Yeah, Mike, I almost considered, because you could get, during the sale, you could get that bundled together to get a discount on the expansion as well. But I really felt like initially there was enough in just the base game that I thought I'm not going to probably get around to using, because the expansion is essentially just the extra scenario, right? It's a scenario about having the synthetic person that you're trying to keep alive. It doesn't add a whole bunch of other stuff to the game. At least I didn't look too deep into it, but I know my assessment of it was I won't need that until I've played like the base scenario a lot and I'm bored of the base scenario. Well, there's also the two other scenarios too. The merchant thing and the combat one, but the new one with the synthetic definitely seems like it's giving it a whole different feel, the way that works. You paid the $12 for the expansion to support the developer. So, and not that that's not worth it. It obviously, it seems like something that's worth it if you've played the hell out of this game and you're wanting something to extend your life, or if you stopped playing it, something to give you a reason to go back because there's something new to experience. Then I would think it's worth it. But when you're coming into a game fresh and new, it's like, yeah, I just need to figure out. That sounds like it's a scenario too where you sort of need to know what you're doing before you play it too. I've been feeling a bit sickly lately. It's probably just a cold, nothing to be done about it. I hope that won't escalate into something nasty. All right, so far, people have gotten colds, and it hasn't. No one's escalated into something nasty. Talus reached crafting 5. Yeah, the battle theme was like, it's all like, it gets all like, all right, looks like we're about to have a fight. But I do like the music in this game. I mean, for the most part, I'm not paying attention to it. But if you do stop and listen to it, it's nice. And I think that's actually can be the sign of well-designed music if it just sort of fits into the environment, and as opposed to a game where you're going like, God, I'm gonna turn this music off. Like, the music's getting on my nerves. When I stop and listen to it, it really does feel like it's well in sync with the tone and the environment of the game. How it uses real human headshots? Yeah, that was something I didn't realize either. Like this looks like artistic renditions, but then when they actually do the pop-up where you see the big zoom on the faces, they're photographs of people, I think, unless they're like photorealistic oil drawings. Like, these look like oil drawings, but the zoom on him seem like they're real. All right, now that we've got all three of the people here, let's we'll unpause the veggie leather. But this was the bottleneck. Everyone was coming here before they were going here. Maybe I just need to switch the locations of the table. Because it's the same activity for both of these, crafting. I think maybe I'm going to do that. Let's move this over. Move it. Oh, nope. Here, somebody can have private time in this room. That's what'll happen. This used to be Samantha's bedroom. Oh no, hold on. Forget this. We want to move the other thing in there. All right. Well, as long as, if the problem now is someone's working on this thing. Here, let's move that in here. Maybe Samantha can work by herself in this room and not piss everybody off with her boring conversation. Grayson's like, where? Envied Talus for improving their skills. So, wait. Let's see. Is he actually mad at Talus for bettering himself? Yeah, he was annoyed by Talus. You guys are so disagreeable. And I don't think I chose anyone who specifically is like, oh, this person's a prick. Everyone just gets irritated by everyone else all the time. Yeah, it doesn't say particularly like, oh, this character is easily irritated, doesn't like people. No, I'm not on peaceful mode. I'm just on the regular standard mode. It has been a while. I did have one raid tonight. Well, one thing too is when I'm streaming, I also tend to play on the slowest speed. So when I'm playing on my own, I'll spend a lot more time in high speed, and the raids seem to come a lot, a lot faster. But since I have a self-admitted hard time focusing on games like this while I'm balancing like a live stream chat and talking the whole time, I find that I tend to lack the focus to justify going on high speed most of the time. Although I can probably get away with it now. Everyone's sort of on autopilot at the moment. Argued with Grayson about combat tactics. You guys! Angered by Grayson. Annoyed by Grayson. Let's see how upset Grayson is. Angered by Talus. Annoyed by Talus. These guys. Oh, thanks, Mike. Alright, that's fine. Actually, I probably... I just realized I should probably think about stopping too. This is kind of late for me. I gotta work in the morning. Alright, have a good night. It's nice to talk to somebody else who's played this game too. So, Everybody can blame Mike for the fact that I'm probably going to end the stream soon. Now that I've realized, like, oh yeah, I should go too. Usually I try to wrap up like around 11 my time, and right now it's 11:30 my time. Talus is as annoying as the common cold. Let's see. It used to be him and Jack were sort of developing a friendship, and then, you know. Nope, there's nothing about him. His arch nemesis is the kitchen, and anything that has to do with cooking. Although I don't think that means he hates people who cook. It just means he can't cook. Oh, why are you blaming Alali? Oh, wait, he's blaming me. Okay. I knew you were blaming me the whole time. I just thought for a brief moment it would be nice for you to be pointing the finger at someone else. So I decided to engage in this fantasy that you were blaming someone else. So is there ever a point at which it would be late enough where I'd say, all right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. And you guys be like, all right, you streamed long enough. I'm trying to remember when I used to stream till like 2 or 3 in the morning. What would happen when I end the stream? Was there all this guffawing about me ending the stream? Oh, come on, just play a little more. You're leaving already? Oh, man. Disappointing. Ooh. Oh, this is a problem. All right, let's get rid of that just one little stockpile. I just realized this huge circuit that they're forced to create because of this stairway ending right here. Oh, where's the falling spaceship debris? Boom! All right, that's good. That gives you gives you extra metals when you harvest that stuff. You always want me to keep going, but that's the point. Like, is there ever a point where will it ever be late enough? I guess maybe the only thing would be is if it's so late that you've literally fallen asleep and can't protest when I say I think I need to end my stream. That's probably the only amount of lateness that would avoid the problem of me feeling like, oh man, they're really, I'm letting everybody down by ending my stream. They just weren't ready to go yet. Yeah, I should go too. Let me see. I'm gonna save the old save the old game, my first main. Overwrite that bitch. And get the hell out of here. There we go. Oh, I should have had Norris the Grey up. So there we go. I didn't do cam today. So it's time for Norris to step up and provide the beauty that normally I would provide. I am going to need some kind of a little snack or something, but no, I had the Huel before my stream. It was the only thing that gave me that get up and go, the stream, all that energy. You're sad every time? Even if it was 2:30 in the morning? You know what? I bet if it was later, people would be even more crabby, because at that point, you're tired. It's like when a kid stays up too late, and then they get really emotional when like anything that they remotely don't like happens. It's worse. So maybe you consider that, except for Brad, because Brad's in China. It's right now, it's literally just an early afternoon. But for the rest of you guys, it's after midnight. It's 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. You don't become a little bitch like I do. Okay, I will admit that Well, normally I just get tired and complain that I'm tired. I don't normally get like... I don't think I get like mean at people. But I probably get grumpy. Dad, I don't want to go to bed. Just full on meltdown. That's when the kids will have their full on meltdowns. Is when they're just too tired. And then it's the slightest thing they don't want to do is imposed upon them. That's when you lose it. It's 1:34 a.m. in the morning for Evie. Yeah. Oh no. Alalia's she's losing it. Oh god. I think I created a self-fulfilling prophecy. The thing that I said was going to happen has happened. See, this is just the argument why I shouldn't stream this late. You're all so delicate at this hour that when I leave, it's devastating. It's devastating for you. If I would just leave a little earlier, but you know, I get into doing what I'm doing and hanging out, and talking, flapping my gums. So, but now it's late. I should probably just wrap it up. I can feel like there's that point at which I feel like I'm a balloon that the air is just flying out. Like once I realize I'm tired, I go downhill really quick. I'm sorry, Brad's devastated. But Brad, you'd been devastated. It's not because you stayed up too late. It's just because it's just a legitimately devastating experience. When I'm here and then I'm not here. And yeah, just strap on your Depends and keep going. You know who's been getting on my case about my sleep lately? Amanda, because I've had poor sleep hygiene, especially when I find a new game like this, that it's real easy to lose track of time while I'm playing, and then I still have to wake up at the same time every morning, so kind of fucks everything up. There's Evie with the unhappy face. Yep, there. Everyone's got to play their role, and making me feel guilty about leaving for the night. You just can't bear to see me go or speak so positively about the Shawshank Redemption. Well, Brad, those are both things that many people do. They gotta, at some point, they're in a place, they stop being in that place. Happens all the time. Also, many, many people speak very highly of Shawshank Redemption, so you shouldn't look at it as some weird, particularly offensive thing that I do. All right. Here's what's going to happen now. I'm done. All right, here it is. I'm not as irritated as I sound, but I am going to go. Go to sleep and good night. Your eyes are getting so heavy. Go to sleep now, Brad Pritchard, Alali, EV23, Nixie, Matus, Baby Jocidai. I'll be waiting for you in your dreams.